Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey to end the torment of the Spirit Queen. Tonight we're going to be following a group of heroes as they descend even further into Bleak Swamp Fortress in the eastern swamps, where we are in search of two things. The remains of Nelath, Sylvanas' apprentice, which we are trying to figure out what happened to them because they were not where they were supposed to be. And the second thing is Sylvanas' scout, Udren, who is our female bard. We are looking for her, and theoretically, unless we accidentally kill her, we should find her tonight. So this will definitely be an interesting episode. We got tons of people already in the chat. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, Cody, I might send you a message about that for sure, too. The lighting down here is usually good, but let me tell you, if I'm ever trying to film one of the OG boards, if I'm trying to film the Milton Bradley board or the Avalon Hill board, there is a big reflective light off of that. The 3D board does great, but the surface of the other board is very reflective. Yes. Okay, well, let's jump pretty much right down into what we need to do today. So we have continued doing our setup on a special subscribers only stream that is happening in Discord. So if you are not subscribed to our channel, you can consider doing so, and also jump in that Discord there. You can be a part of the hangout while we get all the heroes ready and the heroes selected for the quest. I will go ahead and give you a quick rundown of who is going on the quest tonight. If we come over here, let me adjust my camera just a little bit. We've got Moonstone the Druid. One moment. There we go. An ad was about to start. To say there's no point because the subscribers already know who it is. Moonstone the Druid, Thraken the Barbarian, Gramina the Dwarven Explorer, and our brand new bard, Sigil. This is going to be his first quest tonight. Now, we did, on the creative stream earlier this week, completely overhaul the bard class, and all of the cards that we made up and ordered have not come yet. So I'm going to have to trust my absolutely garbage memory regarding what Sigil is capable of doing. I do have his old skill cards set down. Yes! There it is. That's it. I do have his old cards down here to hopefully remind me, because we didn't change a massive amount. I'm pretty sure I remember what he can do, but if any of you in the chat are remembering better than me or thinking that I'm not remembering, don't be afraid to say something in the chat, because we did a pretty hardcore overhaul of what that character class is, capable of. Okie dokie, well, with that, I think let's get the music started, let's read the quest text, and let's get into this. There's some music going. This is Book 5, Quest 5. So Book 5 is Spirit Queen's Torment, and this is Quest 5, The Hero Within. It's a weird title, now I think about it. This quest text is courtesy of Sylvana, the Elven Diviner. Your infiltration of Bleak Swamp Fortress has gone well, heroes. You have reached the dungeons below the fortress, and I do not believe the alarm has yet been raised. That is good, for there are many troops in other parts of the fortress. Udren, the guard who can help us, must be here. Find her and learn what Zargon has done with my apprentice's corpse. You may need to protect Udren. Zargon's forces despise traitors. And that's what we're doing. Now, this quest has a weird thing about it that is doesn't happen very often. This sort of thing doesn't happen very often. This particular thing, at least in this campaign, never happens again. The heroes have an extra action that they will not have any other time, which is search for ally. And any room that contains a scout mercenary, one of the heroes can use that action, search for ally, and if that scout mercenary in the room they've searched is Udren, she will reveal herself and join the hero's ranks. Which means it is possible for us to accidentally kill her, as Gohan so eloquently put in there. Absolutely. If they just kill the scout mercenary in all the rooms, we just kill Udren. So we will be trying to keep an eye on that. If there's a scout mercenary in a room, we are going to be searching for ally at some point. We do get some rewards if she makes it to the end of this quest. She will also be accompanying the heroes on the next quest, and will get an extra reward if she survives that one as well. So hopefully she will. Justin says, in our game tonight, I had Mentor use Far Voice to tell the heroes, basically saying, yo, I know you're looking into 11 missing child report, but that's gotta wait. Stuff's going on down here. Get back now. Yeah. Oh, Elven missing child. Yeah. Yes, called away from the Elven lands. Sorry about your princess. We got some other stuff to do. Oh man, Rukoro is on a 45 stream streak. That is awesome. Thank you for that, Rukoro. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing great. I saw you put some void emotes in there earlier, but that is awesome. 45 stream streak is awesome. And Cody says, oh no. Yeah, honestly, it's not really that big a deal if we kill her, but we're not gonna do that on purpose. Or will we? We won't. Or will we? Aha. Oh, Voidbound is here as well. Good to see you, Voidbound. I'm chilling with a friend, so I can technically watch the entire stream, but I want to hang out with my friend. Understood. Thanks for stopping by, Voidbound. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Hope your friend's doing good. All right, now that we know what we're doing, we know about the extra action that the heroes can take so long as they are looking into a room with a scout mercenary. We need to take a look at where they are starting. It does look as though we are starting on stairs. Yes, we are indeed starting on stairs, which makes sense. We ended the last quest on stairs, so we're starting this one on stairs. All right, I think we're starting up here in this blue room, which is kind of nice. Not our usual place there. So here's our stairs, and our heroes coming up the stairs are Moonstone the Druid, Thraken the Barbarian, Gramina the Dwarven Explorer, and Sigil the Bard. Ooh, I've forgotten their character cards. I'm guaranteed to forget at least one thing every time in that setup stream. At least it's usually fast stuff. There's Gramina. There's Thraken. We're looking for Moonstone and Sigil. They must be at the bottom. There's Sigil. And I must have missed Moonstone. Whoops. Gohan says bananas and pajamas. Yes. Need to start taking bets on what you forget. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Voidbound says, 80 void magic away from gifting a strength potion. Nice. I'll start something on Kaishi. I'm not familiar with that, Cody. That is funny, though. Let me look for Moonstone one more time. I know she's in here. I've just passed her card by accident. There she is. Okay. It's literally only to help me remember the turn order, but it does really help. Okay. Also in the room with the heroes is a door. A swamp goblin, which makes sense as we are in the swamp. Of course, swamp monsters, as per usual, have higher attack and lower defense. And a scout mercenary right away. Here we go. By the way, we are in level 3 difficulty tonight, so all monsters have an extra body point. Boss monsters will have an extra body point and a potion of healing. However, there is not a boss monster in the quest tonight, so we don't have to worry about that. No extra attack like last time, just the extra body point. Sigil has kind of pulled back our difficulty a little bit because he doesn't have any experience. Oh, nice. I'm looking at that emote Voidbound just put in there. That is super neat. Oh, it's a frog, isn't it? Sorry, my eyes are garbage. Yes, I was trying to figure out what it was. Okay, so right off the bat, somebody could do that search for ally. Excuse me. Okay, so Moonstone, right off the bat, Moonstone the Druid has several options available to her. They are search this room for traps, search this room for secret doors, attack one of the monsters, search for ally, cast a spell. So she's got quite a bit of options there. She's got both her shapeshift and her rock skin spell that she drew randomly that would help her out there. So which one of these 5 options are we going for? We are going for the second one, which, if I'm remembering right, is search for secret doors. And there are no secret doors in this room. Oh, nice. We got a whole bunch of neat emojis in there. Or emotes. Oh, that first one kind of looks like the orc emote. That's awesome. Nice. Okay, second action Moonstone. Search for traps. Attack one of the monsters. Search for ally. Cast one of her spells. And she is going for the first option, which was search for traps. So she's just getting most of the searching out of the way. There are also no traps in this room. Thraken, are we being a little more useful than Moonstone in this particular case? The only options that Thraken has are attack one of the monsters, search for ally. And he is going to spend his first turn searching for ally, and that yields no results. This is just a regular scout mercenary right here. Just says, I need some Dungeon Crawler Carl emotes. I bet someone on Twitch has some. I bet you're right. Voidbound says, you mentioned the heroes were in a swamp and all of these emotes remind me of the swamp. I agree, yes, that kind of like dark green. The frogs are swampy, the orcs are kind of swampy looking. Absolutely. Oh, and I just noticed the sloth emote in that last message you sent. That's great. Okay, that means that Thraken's other action is going to be attacking one of those monsters. Now, he can shoot from where he is. He doesn't have enough actions to move and then attack, but he could shoot either the goblin or the scout, and he is going to shoot at the goblin. So he's turning just slightly, putting an arrow in his short bow, and firing at that swamp goblin, hitting it with a 2. And it doesn't defend. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect him to kill it that quick. But here we are. That is one dead swamp goblin. All right, Gramina, the menace, the star. Gramina, everything that is good about Midnight Quest. What are we doing here? Actually, the only action she has available to her is attack the monster. So I guess she is headed towards that scout mercenary. Will she one-shot the scout mercenary is the next question. Now, Gramina, as far as weapons, has the legendary Spirit Blade, which gives her 4 attack dice if the monster is undead, and 3 attack dice if it is not. The scout mercenary is a living, breathing mercenary, I guess, thing. It's one of those things. She swings the Spirit Blade at the scout, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Gramina coming out of the gate swinging. What are the scout mercenary's stats? 2 attack, 3 defense, 3 body points. Okay, so this scout's probably dead. Gohan says it hasn't been dead previously. Good point. Good point. And not a single black shield thrown. That scout mercenary has no idea what was coming at her. In a flash, a Gramina-sized whirlwind. She was dead. Woodman says, right now I'm hoping the mercenaries will win. There you go. Standing Wolf is also here. Good to see you, Standing Wolf. This time I make it not too far from the start. Yes, you are absolutely right. And Cody says, I like to think the mercenaries are kobolds. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Okay, well, that was move and attack, which means it is Sigil's turn. His first official turn as a hero, anyway. Now, he did participate just a little bit in the quest where they found him, but this is his first official turn, and his options are search this room for treasure or leave the room. And he has taken the treasure search. He's got to be a little bit excited. Who knows what kind of adventures he had been on prior to this, but he is now officially a member of the Empire. And his first ever treasure search yields him 1 potion of defense. Not bad. We'll put that in his inventory for now. That'll give him a couple extra defense dice for a single defense if he needs it. And his second action, there's nothing left to do in here other than move, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening up a door, excuse me. Pointman says, I'm going to go invade a couple of random streams with the orc emote. Yes, you have to. In the red room, we have another door leading forward. Also, I really wish it was not Sigil who opened this door, but what are we going to do? In this room are 2 monsters. One is a swordsman mercenary. There we go. Now remember, it's only the scout mercenaries that we're doing the search for allies, so this really is just essentially a monster. Swordsman mercenary and also a chaos warrior. Both of these are pretty scary monsters, honestly, and Sigil is now out of actions. So he cannot do anything about what is in this room, and if he moves out of the doorway, both of the monsters are going to come in and attack, which isn't strategically very smart. So he might as well plug the doorway and hope they don't hit him too hard. Standing Wolf says, okay, I might be a bit mean tonight, sorry. Had one of those days, eh? Mean to the characters, yes. We're still early in the book. We're approaching the halfway point. Hitting that dread spell, Justin Pollitt. Let's see what we got here, because we're about to start the monster's turn here. So we got our big old dread spell deck right here. The target of this spell... Oh, and we got a wandering monster too. Okay, don't let me forget about that. The target of Justin's dread spell, unfortunately, is Sigil. And we are going... Ooh, that's quite a bit. 18 cards down into the deck. As long as the spell we draw makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 is Summon Undead. We can do that. So we've just summoned a whole bunch of monsters. We've summoned a bunch of undead plus the actual... Yes, Sigil gonna learn today. Yeah, no kidding he is. All right, let's find some undead, and we'll probably just stick them in that red room. Okay, how many undead monsters are we getting here? This spell works with a roll of a movement dice, and we are putting in... Dang it, Sigil. You opened a door and cast a whole bunch of monsters on our heads. What are you doing? Don't open a door. Yeah, Standing Wolf, you're right. That's at least 2 or more monsters. In fact, this spell alone summoned us 4 skeletons. Now, these are just basic skeletons, so they're not necessarily particularly scary, but 4 is a lot. It's certainly going to hold the heroes up. And then we also need the wandering monster. Now, these skeletons are not wandering monsters, so they will only get to attack on the monster's turn. Now, we are starting with the monster's turn, but it is good to note that that is how that will work on an average basis regarding monsters that are summoned in via Dread Spell Redeems. They do not move and attack immediately. They will in this case, because it's the monster's turn. Wandering monsters, on the other hand, do move and attack immediately, and we need to do that next. The monster we're getting is 7 of clubs. Can we do that? We sure can. A halberdier mercenary. We haven't seen these guys too often. Oh, we got a new follow. Very much appreciated, Nugget8280. Very, very much appreciated. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're enjoying what you're watching, what you're listening to. Don't be afraid to throw anything in the chat if you've got any questions about what we're doing or suggestions about what we're doing, by all means. We are a friendly group for the most part, except watch out for that Justin Pollitt character. I don't know, he's a little shifty. No, I'm kidding. Okay, who is the halberdier mercenary attacking? They are attacking Grimina. Ooh, big mistake. Big mistake. Standing Wolf says with skellies, shorter weapons are better than others. Yes. And Cody says, nuggets, yes. Okay, the halberdier mercenary's whole thing is that they can attack diagonally, so we are not going to put this monster adjacent to Grimina. This is going to attack immediately, but that poor mercenary has just attacked the star of the show, so we all know how that's going to end. Let me review the stats there on that guy, because we do not see that type of monster very often. Halberdier mercenary, there we are. 3 attack, 3 defense, 3 body points. Okay, that'll be easy to remember, theoretically. 3s all across the board, and they can attack diagonally. Okay, halberdier is attacking Grimina, hitting her with a critical hit of 3. Okay. Sheesh. Okay, Grimina tries to defend the attack. Only defends 1 of those 3, knocking her down to 10 body points remaining. Ouch, that mercenary is pushing its luck. Just says, and he means throw it like MBL 90 miles per hour pitch something into the chat. It should hurt if it hits someone. Agreed. Agreed. Okay, now that it's the monster's turn, we need to figure out which one of the monsters in the red room is attacking Sigil. By the way, I know we could have put some of those skeletons in the blue room. However, that would have essentially ended up with them being massacred basically immediately. So despite the fact that only one monster in that room is going to get to attack on this turn, it will make the other monsters last longer. So I think strategically, even from a Zargon point of view, it seems a little odd, but I think that was the better move. Standing Wolf says, oh, sorry there. Oh, it's all good. Okay, so we've got 6 monsters right at the moment hanging out in that red room. Let's see which one of them is going to attack Sigil. Jack is going to be 11, so we'll go clockwise here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the last guy. Is going to come up here and attack Sigil, swinging its scythe and hitting the bard with a 1, which he blocks. Okay, that's a good sign for Sigil, considering this is his first ever quest. He has blocked the first attack thrown at him. Good to go. Good bard. Okay. Yes, perfect. Perfect timing. All right, Moonstone, let's get Moonstone up there and help. Now, I have to imagine that Gramina is probably not going to have an issue with this mercenary, so let's get Moonstone over here to help Sigil, actually. So we'll just get Moonstone the Druid right here, and she can fire at that skeleton with her Redwood Wand, firing at the skeleton and hitting it with a 2. It actually blocks 1, so hanging in there with 1 body point remaining. Skeleton's not quite dead. That's impressive for a skeleton. And Justin says there's tomorrow's short, 100%. Yeah. I posted one today, didn't I? I think I did. Today's been a weird blur. Standing Wolf says, well, 6 monsters are a good way to start a mission. One time my party had to deal with 8, and one of those summoned 2 more minions. Yes. Yeah, honestly, the first part of the quest is the best place for big groups to hit like that, because they still have their big skeleton in the corner. You got it. They still have most body points right here, so they've got the most resources available to them. Okay, just to be absolutely clear, Sarah, you're talking about this guy, this fella right here, skeleton in the corner. I just wanted to make sure you weren't talking about the Chaos Warrior. Okay, yes. I figured you knew the difference, but I wanted to clarify just to make sure. Okay. Low card's going to be attack, medium card's going to be defense, high card's going to be body points. Ah, there you go. We got a medium card, so that's 1 extra bit of defense for that skeleton up there in the corner. I am going to put a dice up there in an attempt to remind me that skeleton. Music Boy probably going to need that. I agree. I will mark that in his sheet, Potion of Healing as a gift. We also bought him a Potion of Rejuvenation for just in case, because I was a little worried. But yes, 100%. All right, where are we? That was Moonstone's turn, so it is now Thracken's turn. Let's also have Thracken shoot at that skeleton from the stairway. So loading up an arrow and a short bow, he fires, but misses. Thracken is kind of a bad shot, I guess. Who would have known? But we know now. With that, let's go ahead and move Thracken over here to the Halberdier Mercenary. On the off chance that Gramina doesn't kill it, it's got an alternate target. With that, it is Gramina's turn, so she is going to move adjacent to the Halberdier and attack it. Swing the Spirit Blade, and hitting it again with a critical hit of 3. This is her second turn this quest, and she has hit critical hits both times. You can't make this up. Gramina is a menace. I know I just looked at this guy's stats. 3s across the board. Yeah. So he's probably dead, right? He's got to get at least 1 black shield here. Ooh, and he did, taking 2 of those hits, but barely hanging on with 1 body point remaining. That Halberdier Mercenary. I can't believe that. Stood up to one of Gramina's harder hits. Cody says, I got a Lyra plug-in today and I'm going to use it to make some of my Hero Quest music hauntingly sexy. Yes. Just says, imagine growing up as a musician. Maybe your parents pushed you too hard to get through Bard College, all in an attempt to live a fairly nice and comfortable life in entertainment. Then you end up in a room in some dungeon fighting a horde of undead anyway. Should have joined the militia after all. Yes. Poor Sigil. He's not supposed to be here, but here he is. Standing Wolf says, question, how long are the cooldown on the redeems? They are all different, Standing Wolf. I think most of them are somewhere in the range of 15 or so minutes. 15 or 20-ish minutes, especially for the monsters. The monster redeems are pushed kind of far apart, just so that we're not like flooding the board all at once. Gohan says, I'm not even supposed to be here today. Oh no! What were you supposed to be doing, Gohan? And Justin says, there's your Sigil lore dump. Yeah. His parents are supremely annoyed that he is here. They thought he was going to be something useful, but no. Off into the dungeons he went, fighting for that fool emperor and his empire. Clerks reference. Okay. See, I'm so... I get zero references. I've even seen that movie and I still didn't get the reference. Dang it. Okay, that's actually going to take us to Sigil, and he is hanging out right there in front of the monster. Now, he has a rapier weapon, which is a weapon that we have not used on the show before, and based on the changes we made during the creative stream on Wednesday, this is going to give him 3 attack dice. However, it will drop down to 2 attack dice if he reaches 7 body points or lower. So right at the moment, he's got full strength rapier right here. Swinging that. He hits the, he misses the skeleton. Dang it. Sigil, this is not the way to go. Is there anything he can do about that? Not really. I don't know if it's time already to use one of his bard skills, or if we should wait on that. That sucks. Okay, he does have something he can do with his second action. He can search this red room for something. So is it going to be traps or secret doors, Sigil? It's going to be secret doors. Searching for the interesting stuff, this bard. Unfortunately, no secret doors in that room. Voidbound says, I have successfully invaded like 10 channels with the smork. That's great. Did any of them react to it at all? That's always funny. Okay, whole hero's turn went by, and unfortunately not a single monster dead. So that's unfortunate and a little worrying. So our monster's turn is just going to be the skeleton attacking Sigil and this halberdier mercenary moving into a position. Actually, it doesn't have to attack diagonally, so attacking one of them. One of them threatened to call the Twitch support. Oh no. Oh, and we got the Potion of Strength. Voidbound, who would you like to give that to? We've got a druid, a barbarian, a dwarf, and a bard. Any of those can take them, and we will apply it when it will be the most helpful, but you can choose who to give that to. Or you can just say whoever. We can randomize it, or you can choose. Either way works. Okay, let's take care of Sigil first. So the skeleton swings its scythe at Sigil. Ooh, and we got an item swap too. Skeleton has hit Sigil with a critical hit of 2. He blocks 1 and takes the other, knocking him down to 9 body points. The Barbarian, you got it. I will go ahead and put that Potion of Strength in his inventory, and he will need to use that in this quest somewhere. Whether that be tonight or Monday night, because I bet this one will be split into 2 streams again, by the looks of it. Okay, oh, and the item swap. I read that as Barbara Ann. Yeah. Look, we're gonna get a female barbarian later on when we hit the Frozen Horror book, and I feel like we have to name her Barbara Ann, right? Like, we kind of have to. Or is that too much like Robert, where it's like too normal? All right, then the Halberdier Mercenary is going to attack either Gramina or Thraken, and it is going for Thraken in this case. So it has changed targets to the big bad barbarian coming at it. Swinging its halberd, it hits Thraken with a 1. Ooh, you gotta hit Thraken harder than that, I'm afraid. Okay, well, he defended it, but just barely. Okay. Let me get that item swap done so I don't forget. And a dice swap too. We're hitting all the redeems right off the bat. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. Okay, let me get the dice swap done, or the item swap done, and then we will do that dice swap. So Standing Wolf, yes, I will give you colors. Let me get the item swap done so I don't forget to do that. Everybody is eligible for an item swap. The person losing an item is going to be Thraken the Barbarian. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 items. Actually, we're gonna drop that down to 5. So normally I include gifted items as swappable, but since he just got that, I'm not gonna swap that out of his inventory. That feels a little bad towards Voidbound there if that were to get swapped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential items that could get swapped out of his inventory. And we are going with the second item, which is his Potion of Healing, which is going to get swapped to Grimina. All right, and we got a Potion of Restoration. That's kind of funny, actually. That makes Grimina now has 4 Potions of Healing. She doesn't need all those. And we're giving the Potion of Restoration to the Bard. Okay, Sigil is not dying tonight. Mark that. Okay, and then let's take a look at the dice swaps here. Okay, Standing Wolf, we are getting rid of the classic dice here, and your options are white, orange, light blue, green, dark blue, bone, or purple. Keeping in mind that the purple and the dark green don't show up on the dice cam basically at all, we can still use them because I can see what they are, but it will make the rolls a little bit more mysterious to you guys. Purple, you got it. I do like both of those the best. I love the way the purple and the green ones look, but they just do not show up on the dice cam. Okay, purple it is. Those are the official Avalon Hill Rise of the Dread Moon dice, I think. Purple are my favorite color. Nice. That makes sense because your name is always purple when you're in here. Yeah. Justin says, I'm just now noticing we have the same dice tower. Nice. Yeah, I really like this one too. And you there says, oh no, now we have to trust Luke. Yeah, that's right. I can tell you whatever rolls that I want. Wow, the heroes get critical hits every time, and look at that, they defend every hit. Weird. Okay, that was the end of the monster's turn. We are back to the beginning of the hero's turn. By the way, hello, you there. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Grab a drink there. Okay, Moonstone. Let's finish off this skeleton. Let's see what happens. Moonstone fires a blast of energy from her redwood wand at this skeleton right here and hits it with an 18. That's right, you have to trust me. 18 skulls she got. The skeleton's going to attempt to defend that, but I mean, how could it possibly defend 18 skulls? Okay, it blocked 17 of them, but it still took 1 damage, and because it was damaged already, that is death. Don't ask me how it blocked 17 hits with only 2 dice. That's a secret for me to know and you guys to figure out. Okay. There you go. Moonstone. What do we do with Moonstone? We can probably start charging heroes in there, shouldn't we? Maybe not. Gohan says the same way 18 came from like 4 dice. Yeah. I don't recall buffing that skeleton. Yeah. The power of the GM. If you take 1 + 1, it equals 17. That's what I learned in school. And Cody and I went to the same school, so he's backing me up on here on this. 1 + 1, according to Greenville schools, is 17. So, what are you gonna do? All right, actually, I think strategically marching them in there is not a good idea unless we march all 4 of them in there. And until that Halberdier mercenary is dead, we're not going to be able to do that. So for now, let's leave Moonstone right where she is. Does mean she can't do anything with her other action, but I think that's okay. I guess we could have her cast either her Shapeshift or her Rock Skin, since she's got a free action. Which one's it going to be? Shapeshift! Okay, I like this spell. Gohan says that's why we can't let Ohio take over. Exactly. I don't know, if everybody in the world were of an intelligence level that meant that they genuinely thought 1 + 1 was 17, The world might be a chiller place. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Shapeshift grants the druid 1 extra defense dice and 1 extra attack dice close range only. The spell is broken as soon as she takes any sort of damage. However, she can get the spell back if she heals herself back up to max. When she is in Shapeshift, we swap her mini out for this fancy bear creature. There she is. Justin says, it's pretty bad the kids use Ohio as slang for something bad. I saw a post on Facebook of banned phrases in a school and Ohio was on the list. Oh no. Cody says, our Board of Education makes sure you know how to plant corn and soybeans and take care of farm animals. That's it. Yes, 100%, that's it. That actually would be super useful schooling for most people in this area. I was homeschooled for the kind of the last half of my schooling, so I don't know if they did offer any sort of specialized thing like that in high school. I don't recall anybody talking about it, but if they don't, they probably should. Gohan says, all I know about Ohio is that it was for lovers. Yes, indeed. That band was from extremely close to where I live. All right, well, let's move on then to Thraken the Barbarian, who is attacking this Halberdier mercenary to help out Grimina. What does he have again? He's got a battle axe. Thraken swings his battle axe at the mercenary and misses it entirely. Oh no. Oh no. Thraken, that's bad. Bad barbarian. And Corn. Yeah, Corn. Yeah, can't forget Corn. Cody says my emo butt was in FFA and ag science and all that. Face piercings and dyed hair and all. Classic. Okay, I don't think there's anything else that we are going to do with Thraken. Let's go ahead and move on to Grimina. Let's see if she can take this guy out. He's only got 1 body point left. She swings the Spirit Blade and hits him with a 2. And he does not defend either one of those. That is 1 dead Halberdier mercenary, that's for sure. There we go. Okay, and again, I don't think we're going to do anything else with Grimina. We're going to give up her second action there. I would like to march them all into that room, but I want to march all of them in there. I don't want to just send 1 or 2 of them. They'll get surrounded. So, Sigil's turn, and he essentially has the option to shoot at any of these remaining monsters. So all of the remaining monsters are within his line of sight. Excuse me. Boybound says, if you look at my profile, you shall find out I am the Smork. You are the Smork. Oh, and I noticed your username suddenly became all caps. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, which of those monsters? What is it, 5? Yes, 5 monsters. Which of the 5 monsters is Sigil shooting at? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one directly out from him. That makes sense. Loading up an arrow in his brand new crossbow. Sigil fires at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. Which it doesn't block. That doesn't destroy it, but it is damaged. There we go. Oh yeah, I gotta get that premium content in there. Actually, you know what? We're here and my nose is kind of runny. Let's do it. Oh, geez. Oh yeah. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Something's wrong in there. I'm not gonna last much longer. Good. Got a good one. Yeah. I'm glad it was good for you. Sigil, what else are we doing? Let's search for traps. He's got a second action. We don't want to move him in there. He could search that room for traps. There is indeed 1 trap in there. Very avoidable, as long as they know about it. There is a spear trap right in the middle of the room, just like that. Cody says, man needs a boom boom stick. Them things are life-changing. Oh, there you go. Knocking that stuff out of there, eh? Yeah, that might have actually made it worse. Are we still in the ad break? You guys are getting 2 for 1. There we go. I blew something loose. Oh no, the ad break finished. Nothing happened? You guys didn't see a thing. Okay. Did you custom make that spear token? Yes. I printed out several of the trap icons from the quest book, and then we used a glue stick to stick them to actual Hero Quest tiles that I wasn't using. Yep. Cody says, I felt my nose clear up like bubbles popping. Wow, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Dawn says, unless you watch YouTube, then the VOD has it free and clear. Crap! You're right. You're right. All of the nose blowing and everything over on YouTube for free. Whew. Hadn't thought of that. We're gonna have to make sure we put ad breaks in there. All right, it's the monster's turn now, and let's see what we are doing. We have, again, 5 potential monsters that could come to attack Sigil right there, and we are going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't count that right at all, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the Chaos Warrior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big bad dude that you don't want attacking you, attacking our newest hero. Swinging its axe and hitting Sigil with a 4. That is definitely not a great attack for him to have to defend. He's only defended one of those, losing 3 body points, dropping him down to 6 body points total. Which does mean that his rapier is going to be doing a little less damage. That's all right, he's got some healing stuff. Justin says, you need to set up YouTube members, and any quest you blow your nose is a members only video. And Cody says, time for me to create a dramatic ad for Midnight Quest in my movie guy voice. Yes. Need a short of nothing but Luke blowing his nose. It's like a compilation of all the times it's actually physically happened. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate all of the end jokes that we've developed, because we have so many that came from so odd places. I was just telling Savannah after the stream ended last night how funny it is that we have people falling over themselves to get to our stream at 11:58 so that they can put the void emote in there. We literally have people scrambling to watch a blank screen for 90 seconds, and I love that so much. It's such that type of humor is 100% my thing, and I'm glad that we have amassed a group of people who have that same sense of humor. The nose blowing thing also. I was sick for a little while near the beginning of when we started doing this, and it spawned a whole end joke about me blowing my nose. I love it. Whitebound says, a guy banned me for the smork. Oh no. Rad Trills is here. Good to see you, Rad. Hope you're doing good. Hello, hello. And yeah, Justin says that would take a while. Yeah, because I feel like I haven't actually blown my nose in that many streams, but you'd have to watch all of them to be sure. That would take a while. Yeah. Okay, we are back to the hero's turn here, and it is Moonstone's turn. She is the one back here. Now, she is getting an extra attack dice if she's close range, but she still can fire long range at her normal amount. So if we may, for a moment, all close our eyes and imagine a bear pulling a wand out of its fur and firing at this Chaos Warrior. Moonstone hits it with a 2. The Chaos Warrior blocks 1, but not the other, reducing it to 3 remaining body points. Brad says, I'm doing good, just in the middle of a Call of Cthulhu, however it's spelled. Yes! Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I hope you got the Metallica song playing in the background as well. Just says, I suppose I could just take one clip and mirror it and flip it in a few different directions, set it to some royalty-free classical music. Hey, I've got a classical acoustic guitar. We could make some custom music for that. Okay, with that, again, I'd really like to start marching people in there. I wish it hadn't been the Chaos Warrior that walked up to the door. If it had been another one of the skeletons, we could have blasted it out of the way and marched everybody in there. But that's not going to be what happens by the looks of it. Okay, so I guess with Moonstone, we are just going to leave it at that. Okay. Moving on to Thraken, we are going to move him so that he can also shoot. 1, 2, 3. Because I also kind of dislike this from an interesting gameplay standpoint. Having all 4 heroes team up on a single monster is not exactly dramatic content. So, Brain, Thraken, is shooting an arrow from his short bow at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. And it does not defend either hit. Still not quite dead. 1 body point remaining. Just says, I'll set it to the song that SpongeBob and Patrick were singing in the episode that put Squidward in a wheelchair but forced him to jellyfish. Yes! Oh, I remember that episode so well. Firmly grasp it. We watched a lot of the early seasons of SpongeBob in my house because my younger brother was absolutely obsessed with it. Yeah, firmly grasp it, yep. There was a period of time, and maybe still even, that my younger brother Sam, if you throw any level of quote from a SpongeBob episode, an earlier SpongeBob episode at him, he will be able to continue on the dialogue of that episode regardless of what it is or where it happens. Cody says, in my ad, I'll be like, do you like watching a guy blow his nose? Then you will love Midnight Quest. And at the end, real fast, blowing nose is subject to streamer's health and subscription status. Yeah, I feel like we have to now. That's put it in production, print it, let's do it, because that sounds amazing. Okay, Grimina also moving. We do need to roll for this because it's moved more than 2. Here, 1, 2, 3. Grimina is putting an arrow in her crossbow, which does not get a whole lot of use, honestly, and she fires at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 3, a critical hit of 3. Again, dude, Grimina is not screwing around tonight. This guy's gonna have to get all 3 black shields to block this attack and survive. And he tried, he got 1, but he's dead. Is that a critical hit every time Grimina has attacked tonight? Am I remembering an attack wrong? That's at least most of them, if not all of them. That's wild. Okay, that's gonna take us to Sigil, and I guess we'll shoot and run. I don't want him to be the one in the doorway anymore. I don't want to have him be the only one to march in the room either. Let's have him shoot at the same skeleton he shot at before that's already damaged, see if he can finish it off, and then he'll move out of the way. Yeah, Gohan says that's 3 so far that I know of. Agreed. I was trying to remember if that was every time she's attacked so far. It might be. I don't remember if she got a crit against that halberdier mercenary the second time she hit it. But it might be every single attack so far. Okay, Sigil puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the skeleton right across from him, hitting it with a 2. And it does not block either one of them. Indeed, it is destroyed. And with the dice swap, too. Yeah, you're right. Cody says, Grimina's soundbite ought to just be Link from Ocarina of Time doing the, yeah, when attacking, yes. Yeah, it really should. That's the next thing I need to, the next kind of extracurricular thing I need to turn my attention to is sound redeems for each of the heroes. All right, and then let's move Sigil 1, 2, just like this. Monster's turn. We have a swordsman mercenary and 2 skeletons, one of which is beefed up with an extra defense dice. It's the one with the dice hanging out right behind it. Let's see which of these monsters is walking into that death trap of a space in that blue room. It is going to be the swordsman mercenary. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the swordsman could hit any of the heroes other than Sigil. It is going to hit Grimina. Boy, the mercenaries are not liking Grimina tonight. Let me review stats on this guy. Swordsman mercenaries, attack with 4, defend with 5, 3 body points. So a pretty hard hit here. Swinging a sword at Grimina, he hits her with a 3. And she blocks all 3 of them, because she's Grimina. She was off to a weird start as far as defense goes, but you can't hit her, just kind of generally speaking. Okay. I also need to be paying attention to what may be the halfway point of this quest, because I'm quite sure this one is long enough to drive us into a couple of streams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 rooms is a little questionable. So after about the 5th room, we'll see what time we're at, and we'll see. Go after the biggest problem first. Yes, she's swinging hard all night. I'd go after her too. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, she's definitely the biggest threat, which is funny because it ought to be Thraken, who just like looks like the biggest threat. But if he guessed Grimina, he guessed right. With that, that's going to take us to the hero's turn, and hopefully they can get this guy out of the way and kind of storm that red room. We will start with Moonstone the Druid, who in her shape-shifted form has a little bit extra attack. She swings her claws at the mercenary and hits him with a critical hit of 3. Everybody's critting tonight, I guess. Now, this guy's got high defense, though. He blocks 1, taking 2, holding on with 1 body point remaining. And there's really nothing else that she can do on this turn, so we'll go ahead and hold off on that. Next is Zargon, who swings his battle axe at the back of the mercenary, hitting the mercenary with a 2. And the mercenary did not defend either one of them. Dead. Oh yeah, that's a reset for our swordsman mercenary drawers. Cody says, it's been almost an hour and the heroes haven't actually left the starting room. It's no doubt for a split. That's a good point. I had no idea it was already almost 1 o'clock. That is insane. Wow. There's been stuff happening. I've also been talking and distracting myself a little bit. Let's go ahead and let Zargon walk into the room. He won't be able to do anything about anything that's in there, but 1, 2, 3, 4 will position him for the next turn. Grimina, on the other hand, can absolutely waltz in there with the Spirit Blade, which is a undead killing machine. All right, we got another wandering monster hitting in there too. All right, nothing wrong with that. And Grimina is going to head for the one with extra defense. I did card that just to see what would happen, because it's not like the heroes know that one of them has extra defense. Grimina swings the Spirit Blade at the skeleton and misses. That's surprising. Okay, let's get that wandering monster done. Everybody try and help me remember it will be Sigil's turn when we come back. Which monster are we getting? 6 of clubs, I'm pretty sure we can do that. Another swordsman mercenary. Nothing wrong with that either. Here we go. And who is it attacking? She's running out of stamina. Yeah, probably so. Just says I'm below 20,000 points now. I need to slow down. Grimina, wow. What is with these mercenaries in Grimina tonight? The mercenary swings its sword at Grimina, hitting her with a 3. And she only blocked 1. Knocking her down to 8 points. Now again, there is no need at all to be worried about her amount of health. She has, because she has such high defense. Ooh, we got a dread spell too. Because she has such high defense, she ends up hoarding healing potions. Whenever she finds one, she tends to hang on to it. She currently has 4. Now she had 3 going into the quest, but one of them got swapped to her with the item swap, which is just funny. She would have to take an extraordinary amount of damage tonight to die, but it's weird that she's taken so much. Okay, Dread Spell 2, and then Sigil's turn. Who's getting hit by the Dread Spell? It is Moonstone the Druid. And what spell are we getting? We are going 16 spells down into the Dread Spell deck. That might have been the same number we pulled out last time. It was close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is Firestorm. Ooh, that's bad news. That's gonna hurt. Husband and wife being a menace in Midnight Quest, yes. Okay, so this is gonna hit Moonstone and Sigil. Now, it would have been kind of funny if it had hit the Red Room. If it had hit Zargon and Grimina, it would have also hit all 3 of those monsters, and it probably would have cleared them out of there. So, not hitting any monsters, but this is going to hit both Moonstone and Sigil. This spell fills the room full of fire that inflicts 3 body points of damage on all heroes and monsters in the same room as the spellcaster, which in this case, because the spell was targeted at Moonstone, is that room. The spellcaster is unaffected, clearly. All victims roll 2 movement dice. For each 5 or 6 rolled, the damage is reduced by 1 point. Okie dokie. Moonstone is taking 2 points of damage, dropping her to 9 and destroying her shapeshift, possibly temporarily. And Sigil is unfortunately taking all 3 of those points of damage. Whoops. Knocking him down to 3 body points. Already, he hasn't even left the starting room, and he is just about dead already. It's a good thing we bought him a potion of rejuvenation, and you guys have gifted him some stuff, because good lord. Bad News Bears is absolutely right. Justin says Fire Nation attacked. That's about right, too. The bard's like, don't worry, I will sing a fire song. But he's on fire, so it can't be that good. Okay, well, it's his turn, and I imagine that he is probably not thrilled about what just happened. Let's go ahead and have him drink the potion of healing that he was gifted. We'll leave alone the potion of restoration he was gifted, and he's also got the potion of rejuvenation that I bought him before the quest started. That is going to jump him back up to 7 body points, which is a little less scary. And then also he can go ahead and head into that room and attack a skeleton. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's have him attack the skeleton right here. I gotta get used to which way his face is. All right, at 7, unfortunately, actually he attacks better at long range when he's kind of low on health. He's got enough body points. Let's do it. We'll back him up 1. He is going to shoot with his crossbow at that skeleton right there, but miss, unfortunately. That sucks, but I mean, the guy was just on fire. This bard is on fire. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that takes us to the monster's turn. That swordsman mercenary will not be attacking on this particular turn, but both of those skeletons will. First off, the one in the corner that has the boosted defense is going for Thraken. Probably because Grimina missed, it has determined she's not a big threat. Swinging its scythe at Thraken, it also misses. I guess maybe that corner is just made out of something weird. The other skeleton then has any of these heroes other than Moonstone that it could go for, and it is going for Thraken as well. Both of the skeletons have determined Thraken is a big threat, I guess. Swinging its scythe, it hits him with a 2, which he blocks. Thraken's got decent defense because he's got Borin's armor. A good old artifact from the first book. And that is going to put us right back to the hero's turn. It is Moonstone's turn, and we are going to have her move forward. And let's see, let's card who she shoots. Because strategically, the Swordsman Mercenary is probably the one we want to be hitting hardest. But getting rid of any of those monsters is going to be helpful. So I'd say she has a line of sight to any of those 3. She is going to go for the skeleton with the extra defense. So she's worried about that guy right up there. She's shooting a blast of energy from her redwood wand. She hits that skeleton with a 1. And the skeleton blocks it. Way to go, boosted defense. It was that extra dice that rolled the black shield. So no hits for that. That takes us to Thraken, who also has a couple of monsters that it is trying to attack. Thraken is going to continue to focus on the skeleton with extra defense. Swinging his battle axe. What? Huh? How did I forget that word? My brain kept saying pickaxe. Swinging his pickaxe. No, this isn't Minecraft. Dang it. Okay, he hits that skeleton with a 2. Which is enough to kill it if it doesn't block. And it didn't block. Dead skeleton. There we go. Took a whole lot of turns to take that guy out, though. That's longer than most skeletons survive on the board. Nothing else can be searched in this room, so he'll go ahead and turn towards the other monster and go with that. Grimina, are we attacking the skeleton or the swordsman mercenary? She is going for the skeleton. Probably because Spirit Blade. She swings the Spirit Blade at the skeleton and hits it with a 2. And it does not defend either hit. That's a little bit more like it, Grimina. She just had a momentary lapse in judgment on that last turn, I guess. That is going to leave us with the Bard, because I don't think it's going to do Grimina any good to move. So we'll just swing her around there. Justice says, I have enough points for a death save. Could I get Justice for Hogard? No. Much as I would very much like to do that, I think that should probably be reserved for heroes that just died. Like, the death save's gotta be, it's gotta happen right when a hero dies, you know what I mean? Or within a few minutes of a hero dying. Or maybe on at least the same quest as a hero dies. Dang, he's too exhausted. Yeah. He's been dead for a while now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get the bard attacking. Oh, right. I forgot again. He attacks better at long range. I'm going to have to get used to that. So again, on our creative stream last Wednesday, we totally overhauled this entire hero class. So I'm trying to get used to those changes. I got to get this stuff stuck in my head. Expired. He's too expired. Right. Okay, shooting an arrow with his crossbow. Sigil misses. I think that's the second turn in a row he's missed, too. He's getting used to that crossbow. He didn't have it before. It is brand new. Maybe he's never shot anything before. Okay, that takes us to the monster's turn, and it is indeed that swordsman mercenary's turn. It was summoned to attack Grimina, so we'll just go ahead and allow it to continue doing that. Swinging its sword. It hits Grimina with a critical hit of 4. Wow. And Grimina blocks 2 of those, taking the other 2 hits and knocking her down to 6 body points. That's as low as she's been for a long time. Or it seems like, anyway. Only monster on the board, so we're right back to Moonstone, and honestly, Moonstone doesn't even need to go in there to attack from where she is. She sends a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand and hits that Swordsman Mercenary with a 2. Those things have high defense, but not very much body points. It does block 1 and take the other, reducing it to 2 body points remaining. With the other action, let's go ahead and get Moonstone on the way out, because, whoops. We don't need all 4 heroes in there to kill a single monster, even if that monster is a little bit difficult. 2 monsters, or 2 heroes in there are going to be plenty enough, if it even survives this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's go ahead and leave her there. I don't know if I want her to open the door when she doesn't have actions left. We don't know what is behind the door, and that kind of screwed Sigil a minute ago. Thraken. Yeah, I think Thraken is the other hero that we're going to leave in here. So Grimina and Thraken should be able to take care of this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting behind the Swordsman Mercenary allows Thraken to use his full Battle Axe 4 attack dice. Hitting that Mercenary with a 2. The Mercenary did not block either of those, so that is death. Very nice. Grimina, what are we doing here? Are we searching for treasure or are we leaving? She's leaving. She's had enough of this junk. She's not worried about the treasure. That's kind of a shame too, because the Explorer class is kind of the class you want to be searching treasure. She gets some benefits that the other classes don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. She opens the door out into the hallway, and let's see, what can she see from here? So we've got a wall right here. We've got a wall kind of in that same location on the other side of the central room. We've got a door leading into this green room. And she can also tell that the hallway continues upward. Is she going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, she is. Okay, in this particular hallway, and we are just going to make it from this square to this square. So this is kind of a short treasure search. There are 2 traps. Unavoidable if somebody's going to the green room. 2 spear traps here and here. Okay, so not too bad. Well, let's go ahead and move Sigil as well. Is he going to search for treasure or leave? He's going to be the treasure search. He seems to be our treasure guy so far. No special treasure. Let's see what he finds. Near the back of the room are several boards that look as though they were recently nailed to the wall. Upon breaking through those boards, Sigil finds a small alcove with a chest. Inside the chest is 50 gold. Good job, Sigil. That's going to put us up to 2,300 gold. Which, by the way, is considerably less than the amount of gold we had at the end of the last quest. If anybody remembers that, that is because we spent quite a lot of gold getting Sigil outfitted up. So we bought Sigil a toolkit, a crossbow. Very nice. We bought Sigil a crossbow, a helmet, a chainmail, and wow, some chainmail and a toolkit. Very nice, Gohan. So outfitted up and ready to go. So that was a pretty good chunk of gold that we took out of the stores to get him ready. I'd like one chainmail, please. Yes, just one single chain of the chainmail. I will purchase them one at a time. I am poor. Okay, one link and a chainmail shirt. That'll be 7,000 gold coins. Thank you. Moving on, Sigil can go ahead and move out into the hallway, being that it at least appears there is not a huge amount of danger. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is all he rolled, and that does allow him to see down that upper hallway as well. In that upper hallway is a couple of walls. And this is a weird one. 2 doors, both leading into what appears to be the same room. You know what? Actually, in anticipation of how that room is laid out, we're going to need to swap that wall right there. Okay. Gohan says, look, I'm on a quest to save the world. I'll pay you when I'm done and famous. Exactly, yes. You provide me with chainmail now, or you can count all of the deaths of innocents' blood on your hands, blacksmith. I could actually kind of see a bard being that dramatic about it, to be totally honest with you. Okay, no monsters on the board. We are back to the front of the hero's turn, and that means it is Moonstone. What else does she have going on for her, just so that we're aware? She has a rock skin spell that wouldn't necessarily be terrible to cast on herself or somebody. Let's see if she's going to do that. Is she moving or casting her rock skin spell? She's moving. How many points is she down, by the way? Only 2. So actually, her pixie spell might be a good thing to go ahead and do. This is the only opportunity where that pixie is good other than for like last minute saving. So let's go ahead and do this. For her first action, she is going to cast the pixie spell on herself, which gives her 2 body points back. And that is important because that puts her back at her max of 11 and gives her access to her shapeshift spell back. Now she will have to cast this on the next turn. She does have the Wand of Magic Artifact, which would allow her to go ahead and cast it right now. But since there's no monsters on the board, I think we'll go ahead and wait a little bit. So casting Pixie, healing herself, regaining the ability to shapeshift, and now she is moving. 1, 2, 3. Is she headed towards the traps or towards the doors? She's headed towards the traps. 5, 6. Is she going to try to jump across those traps, or is she going to stop right there? Okay, we don't really have anything under her personality traits that would indicate that she's particularly cautious about this sort of situation, so we'll go ahead and card it. Is she gonna, she's got the movement, is she gonna try to jump both these traps, or is she stopping right there? She is gonna try to jump them. Okay, here we go. Spear trap number 1, does she jump it? If this is a shield of either color, she's good. It is a white shield. Trap number 2, same deal. It's a skull. Okay, so the second one hit her. Both of these traps are gone now. But she got rid of both of them, only got hit by one of them. So that's not too bad. So that is going to put her back down to 10. She does still have access to shapeshift, by the way. She only loses shapeshift if it is active when she gets damaged. All right, moving on to Thraken the Barbarian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, is he headed with Moonstone or is he headed off the other direction? He is headed off the other direction, so he's going to go down this way by 1 square. Now that he's there, he might as well use his action to search either for traps or secret doors in this hallway, and also this little area has not been searched for secret doors. So we'll go traps in the double wide, secret doors in the double wide, secret doors in the small hallway behind him. And he is going for traps in the double wide. Probably a good move. There are a couple of traps in the double wide. There are 2 pit traps here and here. So if we're going in that far door, not avoidable pit traps. Grimina. Now Grimina is kind of our trap queen as well. In addition to being the normal star of the show, being a dwarf, she has some near supernatural ability to get rid of traps without getting hit by them. Oh, I almost missed. We were in an ad break, so we got the nose blowing emote. That's amazing. Just says Trap Queen in the double wide. Yes. Let's see which direction she's going. Okay. 1, 2, 3. She is indeed headed down that direction. 4, 5. Now, is she worried about the door or the traps? You know, we probably ought to open the door, right? Because in a normal situation, that's kind of allowing us an out to go by those traps without having to disarm them. So it's actually worth opening that door because we don't know if these traps need to be disarmed. So let's go ahead and do that. She has now opened the door into the blue room, and what she finds is a very strange situation that does not happen super often in HeroQuest, which is wall tiles in a room. We got another wall that we need swapped out here too, because that guy's going to be in the way. Oh yeah, okay, hadn't thought of that. Actually, we just need to get rid of both of these to get those tiles to fit in there. This room, or now these 2 rooms, used to be prison cells. The occupants died a long time ago and have since become undead. Another odd thing here, we're going to put some monsters in that room that she just opened, but if the door to either cell is opened, the other will open as well. The undead in the both automatically opened cell, sorry, not both, only in the automatically open cell will move and attack immediately as if they are wandering monsters. So we're also opening up this door, and we are going to populate both rooms, and then the monsters that are in this far room are going to attack immediately, and then we will come back to Grimina's turn. We have, in the room she opened, a deep skeleton, right here, and a zombie, right here. In the yes, in the other room, the one that full of monsters that are going to get to attack, is a skeleton, a zombie, and a skeleton archer. So this one is a regular skeleton, not a deep skeleton. What did we use? We used an Avalon Hill guy there. We better use a Milton Bradley guy here just so that I remember that this is a different variant of skeleton. Regular skeleton. Regular zombie. And a skeleton archer. Right there. Okay, with that, as I mentioned, these monsters are going to come out and attack immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skeleton swings its scythe at Grimina, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that was dumb on my part. I should have thought about that a little harder. If I had had the skeleton go for Thraken, the zombie could have got to Grimina. Whoops. Either way, 1, 2, 3, 4. This skeleton comes out and can attack either Grimina or Thraken, and it is going for Grimina. Boy, the monsters have it out for her tonight. That skeleton shoots an arrow from its bow, hitting Grimina with a 1, which she blocks. Luckily, we're not in level 4 difficulty tonight, so the monsters don't have extra attack dice, considering they seem to have it out for Grimina tonight. It's kind of odd. Okay, that means it is back to Gramina's turn. We're finishing off her turn right now, and she needs to make a determination about whether she is attacking or searching the little bit of cell that she just opened for treasure. Traps. I feel like attacking is the much better option. Attack, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Gohan. And in fact, probably she might want to attack the deep skeleton. So of every monster that we have on the board right now, this deep skeleton is the biggest threat. Having said that, it's still not that big of a threat. So maybe just killing as many monsters as possible is actually the way to go here. Okay, let's card it because she could attack any of them other than the archer. But I would say it's less smart for her to go in the room because she doesn't know if the room is trapped. Screw it. Let's have her attack the skeleton that's already next to her. I'm overcomplicating this. Swinging the Spirit Blade. Gramina attacks the skeleton, hitting it with a 2. And it does not block. Skeleton dead. Okay. Moving on, it is now Sigil's turn, and while I was going to have him follow Moonstone, I feel like maybe some help down this hallway is at least a little bit warranted. At the very least, he could attack before he moves up towards Moonstone. And he does have line of sight to either of these monsters that are in the hallway, and he is very intelligently aiming at the archer. Putting an arrow in his crossbow, he fires, hitting that archer with a 1. It's better than nothing. And the archer does not block it. Not destroyed, but definitely damaged. 1 body point left on that skeleton. Okay, do we move him as well? Yeah, let's move him towards this room, because I would like the 2 of them to continue towards that green room. Even though there's a few monsters up here, this is nothing that Gramina and Thraken shouldn't be able to take care of on their own. Heck, Gramina could probably take care of this area by herself, honestly. We'll see how the dice rolls go, and if she's doing good, we might have Thraken just head out, unless another way forward presents itself down here. Okay, monster's turn. Now, these 2 monsters did attack on this turn cycle already, but these did not. So let's definitely get the deep skeleton, or we should probably card this to be fair. Okay, it's going to be the zombie. 1, 2, 3. Zombie attacking Gramina, swinging a cleaver, and hitting her with a 1. And she blocks it, but just barely. She only rolled 2 white shields and all of that. Okay, that's going to take us back to the beginning of the hero's turn now, and it is Moonstone's turn, and she is headed towards that green room. Let's go ahead and switch cameras here so that we can populate this green room. Moonstone moving toward it. Plenty of dice there. Opening the green room. In this room, there is another door up here in the corner. I need to recount something here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I didn't count in my 10-room estimation. I didn't count this as 2 separate rooms. So we have now done 1, 2, 3, and we're opening the 4th room. Trying to keep track of that in the back of my brain. In this room, there is a torture rack. A weapons rack, an ocean abomination, an archer mercenary, and a doom guard. Bad news. This room's also got a special note. Let me just make sure. Okay. Has to do with searching for treasure. Moonstone, what the heck are we doing? We've got some pretty nasty looking monsters in here. Now, she does not have any specific attacking spells. This would be a good time for her to be in her shapeshift, but I guess we ought to we ought to card this to see if she's searching for traps or if she's shooting. It would be really dumb of her to walk in there, but she could shoot still. So let's see what she's doing. Traps or attack? She's attacking. That's probably the better option. Which of these monsters is she attacking? All three of them are within her line of sight right at the moment. So if we go with the archer being low card and then down from that, it's an ace. We got an ace there, so she is attacking the archer. So aiming off into the back corner of the room, she fires a blast of energy from her redwood wand, hitting the archer with a 1. I'm pretty sure I remember the stats. Yes. 3s across the board again with these guys. Hit it with a 1, and it did not defend, taking 1 body point of damage, reducing it to 2. Gotta shuffle my randomizer deck already too. We've been using up a lot of cards. This has been an extremely eventful first part of a quest. Okay, moving on. It is Thraken the Barbarian's turn, which means we need to go back to this camera here. Let's get a little closer to them now that we're on a more concentrated group. I'd say Thraken attacks better. Ooh, we've got a wandering monster attacking as well. Let's go ahead and take care of Thraken's turn, and then we'll do that for sure. Thraken is going to go ahead and go for his close range damage here, swinging his battle axe at the zombie and hitting it with a 2. And it blocks 1, hanging on to life with 1 body point remaining. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get Rad's wandering monster here. What kind of monster are we getting? A 9 of hearts is an ocean orc. Ocean orcs are here. Now, ocean monsters are very fast. They don't hit very hard. So they're usually ones that you want to cross great distance. Wandering monsters don't utilize that very well. Which hero is it attacking? It is actually attacking Moonstone. So tell you what, let's cause some chaos here and drop it in between Moonstone and Sigil there. This, being a wandering monster, means that the orc attacks immediately, swinging its flail at Moonstone and hitting her with a 1. Which she blocks, but just barely. I seriously was opening my mouth to say that she didn't block it. I just realized she's supposed to have an extra dice, too. Gotcha, we're also increasing the wandering monster stat. Will do. Okay, and hopefully this is an attack increase, because that would actually really help this. Low card will be attack, medium card will be defense, high card will be body points. We are getting an increase in defense again. So again, I'll just kind of do that same. That marker worked pretty well last time. Putting a dice here right next to that orc should help me remember that that orc gets 1 extra defense dice than normal. Okay, I also need to remember Moonstone. Moonstone built some combat apparently last time she went on a quest, and she gets 4 defense dice instead of 3. I gotta remember that, because that's her maxed out on defense as well. Okay, moving forward, we just did Thraken's turn, so it is now Gramina's turn right up here, and she has several options for attacking, but again, I think we want her to go for close range because she hits harder. Johnny Cashless is here. Good to see you, Johnny. Which hero do you think needs a potion of healing? Let's see. So Gramina, our dwarf, is the lowest on health right at the moment. She also has, by far, the most amount of healing stuff she can do to herself. The safe bet, honestly, is the Barbarian. Johnny says, or do you need a certain hero with a potion of strength? The healing potion's probably generally better. So totally up to you there. Johnny, we've got a druid, a barbarian, a dwarf, and a bard. None of them are bad options for that gift, but I would say kind of strategically, our barbarian is the one who could probably use it most. He's not, he hasn't taken a hit, but he also doesn't have any healing potions in his inventory. So it'll be good for him to have one as a just in case. Which one needs it most and which potion? Yeah, so probably the barbarian and the healing potion would be the strategically best move. If Gramina had less potions, I would say her. But she's got so much healing ability, she should be fine. Much appreciated, Johnny. Hope you're doing good. Awesome. We will put that in his inventory so that it can be used when it is needed. That must be used at some point this quest. Probably won't be tonight the way we're going. I'm betting this quest will be split across tonight and Monday night. But he'll have to use it at some point in the quest. You got it. Got it in there. Okay, Grimina is taking a swing at this zombie right here, swinging the Spirit Blade and hitting the zombie with a 3. A typically difficult Grimina hit. The zombie did not block a single one because it wouldn't dare. Destroyed immediately. There we go. And with her other action, are we barging or are we searching for traps? She is indeed going to search for traps. And this is going to be just for this part of the blue room. So this is walling off and making these two things count as 2 rooms for searches. Excuse me, no traps in there. Okay, it is now the Bard's turn, and the Bard is right here behind this Ocean Orc, meaning that really the only thing he can do is attack that orc. That's really what he should be doing right here at this moment. So I guess we will do that. Now he does attack better at long range, so let's actually back him up one to do this. He puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at that Ocean Orc. That was a weird delayed reaction dice. Hitting it with a 1. And again, needing to remember on my part that this orc gets an extra defense because of the redeem. The orc blocks that hit. Sigil started out strong, but he's starting to struggle a little bit to actually land hits. He's not defending very well, and suddenly he's not attacking super well either. Okay, he's also got a lot of skills at his disposal. Yeah, that's about right too. That's him trying to load an arrow into the strings of the loot before being like, the crossbow's better. What am I doing? Okay, that's going to take us to the monster's turn. Now that Ocean Orc did attack already on this turn cycle, but everything else that we're seeing is going to get the option to attack. We are already looking at this situation, so let's take care of that first. First off, this zombie is swinging its cleaver at the barbarian, missing him entirely. Next, the deep skeleton moves in front of Grimina and swings its scythe, hitting her with a critical hit of 3. Which she blocks just barely, exactly enough shields to block that attack. Next, the archer is taking a shot at Thraken this time. The archer fires an arrow, hitting Thraken with a critical hit of 2. And he does not block either of them. He clearly did not see that arrow coming, knocking him down to 11 body points total. Okay, moving over to our other situation. We have 3 monsters in this green room. One of these 2 needs to attack Moonstone, and then the archer can shoot at her regardless of which one of the other 2 move up to the door. So is it going to be red for Abomination, black for Doomguard? It is the Abomination that is going up to attack her. And as per usual, I can never remember these things' stats for some reason. 3 attack, 2 defense, 3 body points. 3, 2, 3. Thrusting its spear, it hits Moonstone with a 2. Which she blocks. Very good for her. And the Archer Mercenary also fires from the doorway, shooting an arrow and hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. Very nice. That was actually all 4 dice white shields. Very nice for her. A critical defense, I guess. It doesn't really work that way, does it? That is going to put us back to the hero's turn, and it is indeed Moonstone's turn. Does she have anything that she should do? Yeah, she should definitely cast her shapeshift again. Now that she's surrounded, she attacks less unless she does the shapeshift. So let's do that. She is going to recast her shapeshift, giving her an extra defense dice and an extra attack dice as long as she's close range. This turns her into a bear. She will lose this spell if she takes any sort of damage, but she can get it back if she heals herself back up to full. That's actually happened already. That's why she has this. Now that she is here, is she attacking the Abomination or the Orc? She is actually going to turn around and try and get rid of this Ocean Orc that suddenly appeared. She swipes her claws at the Orc, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Very nice. The Orc with its boosted defense attempts to defend and unfortunately does not defend any of those hits, and she kills it. It served its purpose though, and it will continue to do so, because getting attacked by an Abomination instead of getting to attack it is definitely cool. Johnny says, it'll be cool if you implemented your own homebrew rules, like if someone gets a critical hit, they get an extra attack, or a critical miss makes them lose the rest of their attacks, or even critical defense. Could do something where it makes the monster fumble. Ah, I gotcha, I see what you're saying, yeah. Yep. Yeah, honestly, that terminology is something that I added, but it doesn't have any effect. If we roll the dice and it's all skulls, it's a critical hit, but it doesn't mean anything. It just means we rolled all skulls. That sort of a thing. But I see what you're saying. That would be an interesting mechanic for sure. Spices up the game, yes. Okay, moving on. It is the Barbarian. Let's swap over back to our other view here where we can see Thraken the Barbarian attacking that zombie in front of him. Swinging his battle axe. He misses entirely. Oh no, heroes, don't start with that junk. He really should have been able to take that guy out. Is there anything else he can do? He does have the Rod of Telekinesis, which would force one of those monsters to miss its turn, but he can only use that once per quest, and this feels kind of like a wimpy monster to use it on. That Doomguard in the other room would be a good monster to use that on. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's just him missing his turn, because that was a really dumb miss on his part. All right, well, moving forward then, it is Grimina, and we are definitely going to keep her attacking that deep skeleton. It's probably the biggest threat of the monsters that they are facing anyway. Swinging the Spirit Blade, she hits the deep skeleton with a 3. That ought to do it. Whoops, threw a dice. And indeed, the skeleton does not defend any of those. It is dead. Yeah, okay. Making sure I was putting it in the right drawer there. With her other action then, she can search for secret doors either in the room or in the hallway. She's doing it in the hallway. Are there secret doors in the hallway? The answer is no. I should have thought about that a little harder, because actually there is nowhere for there to be a secret door in this hallway. She should have known that. Oh well. She does like searching for secret doors. Maybe she just does it sometimes just cuz. Okay, moving on. That is going to take us to the Bard hero, who is just off camera. Let's go ahead and move him up too, so that he can shoot at this Abomination and at least try and help out Moonstone a little bit. Are any of his skills useful in this situation? I think so. Being that that is a Doomguard back there, we might want to use his defense skill. Gohan says, gotta keep the senses sharp. Yes. Johnny says, with secret door reward, what does it mean by a viable unused adjacent room? Does that mean a room that does not have a door to it and is completely blocked? Good question, Johnny. So on the quest map, there are several rooms that are marked as unused or being quote-unquote completely solid stone. An example of that in what we are looking at is this red room. So this red room right here is solid stone. It is unused. So if we were to search for secret doors in a room that is adjacent to this, if somebody hit that redeem, we would open up that room. We've got a randomizer chart that would populate it, and we would basically open the secret door up into that room. Now, if somebody uses that redeem, we're putting in a secret door somewhere. It just, it depends on where are the options. We have to open that secret door into a room that wasn't on the quest map, essentially. Hopefully that answers your question. But by all means, if I did not answer it, don't be afraid to throw some more in there. Gotcha. Okay, good. Okay, moving forward, we are at the Bard, right. Okay, let me pull up a file right here. So as I mentioned, I've mentioned this a couple of times now, we totally overhauled the Bard class on the creative stream last Wednesday, and we ordered the cards that we need for that, but they have not arrived yet. The skill that I would like Sigil to use, I think, is one of the cards that has not come yet, and I want to remind myself what it does. I have a general idea, but I want to remind myself. Yes, the Aegis Anthem, I think, is going to be very useful right about now. Let me read this card. The Bard and one other hero in the Bard's line of sight may roll 3 extra defense dice for the next 3 times they are attacked. Using the skill does not count as an action. Okay, I think that this is going to be very, very useful for... This is the Anthem, throw all your hands up. Yeah, yeah. This is going to be useful for him and Moonstone right here because of that Doom Guard. The Doom Guard hits really, really hard, and it would be nice to have some extra attack dice to hopefully block attacks from them. So let's go ahead and have Sigil use his Aegis Anthem, and that will give himself and Moonstone 3 extra defense dice for the next 3 times they are attacked. So we're also going to have to keep track of that. That's not the next 3 turns, it's the next 3 times they are attacked. So that's going to be difficult to keep track of without the card for Aegis Anthem here. But we'll go for that. Also, as the card mentioned, using that is not an action. He moved, he used that, now he can also fire at that abomination. Knocking an arrow in his crossbow, he fires at the abomination, hitting it with a 2. It blocks one and takes the other one, meaning it has 2 body points remaining. Hopefully, with the combined brain power of everybody watching at the moment, we will hopefully remember to make sure that that stays in effect the right amount of times. Okay, with that, it is now the monster's turn, and we're already looking at this situation, so let's go ahead and take care of it. So first off, the Ocean Abomination is attacking Moonstone, thrusting its spear at her and hitting her with a 2. So this is going to be the first of her Aegis Anthem defenses. She is actually getting, oh my gosh, she's got so many dice, guys. Okay, she's got 4 as a base. Her Shapeshift is giving her 5. The Aegis Anthem is giving her 8. This is super overkill, but let's keep in mind here that this is temporary. Okay, so this is kind of for maybe more extreme situations. Maybe I should have waited until the Doom Guard was up here. So we'll go ahead and roll 3 of the white dice in here too. Okay, it hit her with a 2. She rolled the whole box full of dice and didn't get even 1 white shield. Not even 1. Okay, what I just said about it being overkill, clearly disproven. She just took 2 skulls of damage with 8 defense dice. Jeez. Okay, that's going to drop her down to 8 body points and destroy her shapeshift. That's her own dumb fault right there. I'm sorry. That's I don't even feel bad for her. That's she had every reason to defend that attack and just didn't. Sheesh. Okay. That's got to be a first. I don't know that we've ever rolled 8 dice at once here on Midnight Quest, but for us to not even get the result we were looking for is something. Okay, the Archer Mercenary back here in the corner is also firing at her. This is going to take up the second of her Aegis Anthem defenses. But the Archer missed, so I guess it didn't actually take up her second one. Wow! That's something right there. Didn't see that coming one bit. Okay. For the rest of our monster's turn, we've got the 2 monsters up here in the hallway. First off, the zombie swinging its cleaver at Thraken and hitting him with a critical hit of 2, which he blocks. And then the archer, who is going back to shooting at Gramina, fires an arrow and hits her with a 1, which she blocks just barely. 1 white shield in all 6 of those dice. So just goes to show you, at least if you're me, more dice does not mean more success. Ridiculous, but true. All right, moving back to the front of the hero's turn, it is Moonstone's turn, and she is attacking this abomination. Now, rather unfortunately, being that she lost her shapeshift, she really ought to be long range to hit this guy with the full amount. So let's go ahead and do that. She is going to back up to behind Sigil and fire a blast of energy with her Redwood Wand, hitting that abomination with a 2. And it blocks one and takes the other, meaning it is left alive with 1 body point remaining. All right. Moving on to Thraken the Barbarian up there attacking that zombie. Now he missed on the last turn. Let's hope he doesn't do so again. He swings his battle axe at the zombie and misses again. You can't make this up, guys. Second turn in a row, 4 attack dice. Not a single skull on one of the easiest monsters in the whole game. He is having a heck of a time taking out a zombie. Well, what do you do? Again, there's not really any other action that it makes sense for him to take, so I guess we'll leave him there. Gramina, are we walking into the room or are we trying to deal with the archer? This is definitely a strange situation for her. We should probably get rid of the monsters. The rooms are easy to deal with when there's no monsters standing around. Let's go ahead and take care of that. She loads up an arrow in her crossbow and fires at the skeleton archer, hitting it with a 1. And it does not block that 1. Because it was damaged already, that is death for the archer, or destruction for the archer, I guess, more like. Wild. Totally wild. Okay, she didn't do anything else, so let's go ahead and have her search for secret doors in the bottom half of this blue room, and she will find none. Okay. I wanted to make sure there wasn't a special treasure in there, just so that I'm keeping that in my brain. That's going to take us to Sigil the Bard, who has found himself suddenly pretty close to an ocean abomination unexpectedly. So I suppose we will have him shoot. We might as well have him shoot. He loads up an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the ocean abomination, hitting it with a 2. The abomination does not defend either of those hits, and it is dead. Does he have anything else that it makes sense for him to do? Now, he's not doing too bad health-wise. Moonstone's also not doing too bad health-wise, so his healing song isn't really necessary. Is the Doomguard within range for Lullaby? It is. Honestly, that's probably a good usage of that spell. Or skill. The skill puts any one monster in your line of sight into a deep sleep. Oh, that's right, we changed this. I should keep these cards up. I should absolutely just keep these cards up so that I don't have to keep clicking through all of this stuff to get back to them. Class skills, bard skills, what did we change Lullaby to? This magical song puts any monster in the bard's line of sight into a sleep-like trance. The monster cannot move or attack, but may roll 2 defense dice while in the trance. The trance cannot be broken, but will end after 2 turns. Using this skill counts as an action. Okay, let's do that. I think we are going to have him sing a lullaby to the Doomguard, which is going to put it into a trance, meaning that it cannot move or attack for the next 2 turns. However, it will still be able to defend if it is attacked. So that was his second action right there. And that's going to take us to the monster's turn. We're already looking at this, so let's do it. First off, we're going to put a counter token, which I've just been using the acid pool trap as a counter token, on the Lullaby spell, so that we know 1 turn has passed for the Doomguard. The Archer Mercenary is going to get into a little bit better of a place to go ahead and shoot at Sigil. So the Archer Mercenary fires an arrow at Sigil, hitting him with a 2. His Aegis Anthem defense is going to trigger some extra defense dice for this. Let's see, his defense is normally 3, so he's only getting 6 now. Archer hit him with 2. And he did block that attack. Very nice. One more monster to go up here in the top of the hallway. We have this zombie swinging its cleaver at Zargon, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. This zombie really should have been dead several turns ago. And he didn't block either one of these. Zargon, what is the deal with this zombie? Knocking him down to 9 body points. Buddy, I don't understand. It's a zombie. It's like the third easiest monster in the entire game. Why are you struggling with this guy? Moving back to Moonstone. Front of the hero's turn means that we are now at Moonstone, and she really ought to be taking advantage of the Doomguard having pretty nerfed stats here. The Archer Mercenary is definitely still a threat. 1, 2, she does not know if there are traps in that room, but I really want to make sure that Doomguard, we're taking advantage of that Doomguard being nerfed. She fires a blast of energy at the Doomguard, hitting it with a 2. While in a trance, the Doomguard still does manage to block one of those hits, but takes 1 damage, meaning that it has 4 body points remaining. I imagine that's just the armor keeping it slightly safe there. Okay, moving back up to the other camera, we are now at Zargon yet again. Zargon, can we please get rid of this zombie? This is kind of ridiculous, man. And he does manage to hit it with 1. It only has 1 body point left, but it blocks the attack. What is with this zombie? We got to give this zombie an upgrade or something, guys. This is ridiculous. Yeah, we're just going to leave Zargon there, because that's, or you know what? Grumina hits harder than him. Let's just do this, just in an attempt at some insurance. It is now Grumina's turn, and we're going to move her over there to attack this thing with the Spirit Blade. Swinging the Spirit Blade, Grumina hits the zombie with a 3. Immediately a way, way, way better hit, and that zombie is absolutely destroyed. Jeez. That's so typical for her story, though, isn't it? Some heroes start struggling with a monster that they have no business struggling with, and Grumina has to roll her eyes and walk in and save the day. It's happened so many times. Okay, with that, we are headed back to Sigil, I believe. Yeah, Sigil the Bard. Now, we should also have him hitting that Doomguard, but we're going to guarantee that it's him the archer shoots doing this. And he has to step into the room not knowing if there are traps. Okay, well, it's either that or sacrifice his turn entirely, and we don't want to do that. Stepping into the room, and he's getting lucky here. There is no traps, at least on that square. He puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires it at the Doomguard, hitting it with a 1. In a trance, the Doomguard does not block that hit, reducing it to 3 remaining body points. And that is going to take us into the monster's turn. 1 more damage counter on the Lullaby, or in fact, this is the second turn, so the Doomguard still can't do anything right now, but on the next turn, assuming it survives that long, it will. The Archer Mercenary, however, can totally shoot, firing an arrow at Sigil and hitting him with a 1, triggering his second of 3 Aegis Anthem blocks, which he does indeed block. And yeah, we did manage to get rid of that zombie in the upper part of the board, so we're good to go. Monster's turn over, at least for now. It is now Moonstone's turn, and I think we're going to do the exact same thing that we did last time. We are going to have her, whoops, shoot at that Doomguard, which I apparently just killed with my finger. Firing a blast of energy with her Redwood Wand, Moonstone hits the Doomguard with a 2. In a trance, the Doomguard does not block either of those hits, reducing it to 1 body point remaining. If Sigil can get a good hit on it, it will be out of there before it manages to get out of the Lullaby. Yeah. 2 full turns. So it's waking up on the monster's turn. So I removed the card a little bit prematurely. So the Doomguard is still in a trance right at the moment, despite the fact that I took the card out. Hasn't been 2 full turns yet. Okay, that is going to... oh yeah, Moonstone's second action. She's standing adjacent to the room. Let's search for traps. There are no traps in that room. Okay, to the upper part. Thraken. I think we want him to go search for treasure in here, because Gramina's going to have an easier time getting rid of one of those pit traps. 1, 2, 3. Exactly enough for him to search this cell for treasure. Let's see what he finds. He finds a wandering monster. Hanging out in the cell, there is an ocean abomination. Oh man. That's funny. Let's actually put it here so that it's kind of out of Gramina's line of sight. The ocean abomination immediately thrusts its spear at Thraken, hitting him with a 2. And he does not defend either one of them. Again, clearly being caught totally by surprise. He is knocked down to 7 body points remaining. That's unexpected. Okay, Gramina, in the meantime, is going to make an attempt at getting rid of that pit trap that is in front of her. We don't need to roll her for this. She's moving on to the pit trap. Now, for her, she has Dwarf Disarm and also Second Try Disarm. So she has to get 2 black shields in a row for this to negatively affect her. On her first attempt, she is unsuccessful at disarming the pit trap, but because she is very, very good at machinery, she does get a second try, and this time she is successful. Now that would be broken. That would be a broken mechanic if we had a dwarf on every quest. We don't, because that is near guaranteeing that the trap just disappears. But we don't have a dwarf on every quest. So, not very broken. She can still step on them by accident and trigger them. Okay, that's her entire turn though, so we are done there, and we need to come back to the Bard. Okay, Sigil, can we finish off this Doomguard before it gets anywhere? Because this is the last chance to land damage on it. Sigil puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the Doomguard, hitting it with a 2. It does have to get 2 black shields to survive this. In the last throes of its trance, the Doomguard puts up an attempt, blocking one of those hits, but taking the other one, meaning that it is indeed dead. They did a good job nerfing that guy before he could do anything, because that could have been a much, much, much worse situation. Okay, second action for Sigil. He's going to go ahead and search this room for secret doors and find that there are none. Monster's turn. It's just the Archer Mercenary. So the Ocean Abomination that spawned as a wandering monster has already attacked in this turn cycle, but the Archer definitely still can fire at Sigil. Firing an arrow, she hits Sigil with a 2, and triggering the last of his Aegis Anthems. He gets a pretty good block here. Yeah, just barely blocking that attack in full. Aegis Anthem serving him well, but it will serve at least him no longer. Moonstone's still got a couple of blocks left. Okay, like I said, the Abomination that is also on the map up there has already attacked on this turn cycle, so if it survives to the next turn, it will be attacking again, but it won't right now. Moonstone, we need to get rid of that Archer. So Moonstone is going to fire a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand at the Archer Mercenary, hitting the Mercenary with a 2. The Mercenary does not block either hit, knocking it down to 1 body point remaining. No, I'm sorry, it was damaged already, I forgot. So it is dead. I forgot she hit it right when she first opened the door. So that is a dead Mercenary. That's why we keep the damage counters on the board, because I would totally forget that. Okay, Moonstone. Walking into the room then. What is she doing? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I guess, well, that's it. She attacked and then moved, so she doesn't really have the option to do anything else. We'll leave her there for now. Moving up here to Thraken. He is swinging his battle axe at the monster that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Let's hope he has better luck with this than he did with that zombie. Swinging his battle axe, he hits it with a 1. So, questionable luck. The Abomination at least doesn't block it, knocking it down to 2 body points remaining. Does he have anything here that can do him any good? Let's go ahead and activate his Armband of Healing. So he is wearing the artifact Armband of Healing, which at any point in the quest, he can call upon it to heal him 2 body points. It's not much, but it's a once per quest thing that'll just give him a little bit of oomph back. This is gonna knock him back up to 9 body points. So again, he wasn't in desperate need of it or anything, but we might as well do a little bit at least. He does have a gifted potion of strength too. If he really gets into dire straits and is struggling to hit, we can do that. Okay, Gramina up here is now moving towards the other half of that cell, which has not been searched for anything. 1, 2, is she searching for traps before she walks in? No, and honestly that's totally fine because of one of her abilities. I have to tell her if she is standing next to a trap at any point, and she isn't. So she's kind of the one that's safe to not search for traps. Now that she's in here, is she searching for secret doors or treasure? She is searching for secret doors. That is her thing, after all. She really enjoys searching for secret doors. There are none in this room. And that's going to take us to the Bard. Sigil, my friend, are we searching for treasure or are we leaving? He's leaving. I'm surprised. He's been the only one to search for treasure almost this entire quest. So I guess that's going to be left for somebody, because they are all 4 of them going to have to walk through this room. But it's not going to be Sigil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he is opening the door up into this blue room. 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is probably, we'll clear this room out and then we'll be looking at finishing for the night, I imagine. In this blue room, there is a door. There is also a mountain goblin, which is just kind of the normal goblin right here. There is also a scout mercenary, and let's not forget that that's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for, so we need to do a search ally in this room at some point. There is also a dread warrior in this room. Right there. Okay, Sigil, are we searching for traps or are we attacking? He is attacking. He has in his line of sight right at the moment, I would say only the Dread Warrior and the Scout Mercenary. So I guess we should also card this. He's not searching for traps, but is he going to attack or is he doing search for ally? He is indeed going to do search for ally, and reveal that this is also not Udren. This is still just a regular old scout. Okay, and that's both of his actions. So it is now the monster's turn. We've got a couple of monsters on the board, the ones we're looking at, and also the Ocean Abomination in there with Thraken. Who is coming to attack Sigil? It could be any of those 3 monsters. We'll go low card, medium card, high card. We're going low card there, so it is the Scout Mercenary indeed. 1, 2, 3. Pretty sure these guys are 3s across the board. That seems right. Oh, Scout Mercenary, where are you? Yes, 3s across, no, I'm sorry. 2 attack. 2 attack, 3 defense, 3 body points. It was the Halberdiers and the Archers that are 3s across the board. Scouts have a little less in attack. So 2, 3, 3 for these guys. The Scout swings its sword at the Bard, hitting him with a 1. And he blocks, just barely. How is it that he is the one who keeps opening the doors and getting hit? He is like the worst possible hero to be the one blocking doors. He should not be the one opening doors. Oh, right, and the Abomination as well. The Abomination up here with Thraken thrusts its spear, hitting the Barbarian with a critical hit of 3. He blocks 2 of those and loses only 1. That's not too bad, dropping him to 8 body points. And that's going to take us back to the front of the hero's line. It is time for Moonstone. Moonstone, are we searching for treasure or are we moving up there to help Sigil? She's helping Sigil, so neither one of these guys are going to be searching the treasure in this green room. She fires a blast of energy at the Scout Mercenary with her wand, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. That, my friends, is one dead Scout Mercenary. Didn't see the magic coming. Blasted away into nothingness. Up here, old Thraken, struggling apparently with an Ocean Abomination. It's got 2 body points left. Let's see if he can get a hit here. Swinging his battle axe. He misses again. Boy, Thraken, what is going on, buddy? What is with all the misses all of a sudden? Well, I suppose we'll leave him with it. We might want to consider using the Gifted Potion of Strength on the next turn, because apparently he is struggling to get rid of this guy. No other searching needs done in here, so just like with the zombie, we'll just leave him there until he figures it out, I guess. Okay, up in the top part of this room here, Gramina is now searching for treasure. Let's see what she finds. Good old Gramina. Under a loose stone in the floor, Gramina finds a small chest. Inside is 300 gold coins. There are only 2 of these cards in the entire treasure deck, and I don't know if you guys can see how big this deck is. This deck alone is something like, I don't know, 400 cards or 500 cards. There's only 2 of these in here, and of course Gramina would find one. And in addition to the 300 coins, thanks to her Coin Hunter skill, which is a static skill that's in play all the time, whenever she searches for treasure and finds coins, she finds 25 more than what the card says. So she has just put us up to 2,625 total coins. Good old Gramina. Maybe we shouldn't even be drawing 4 heroes for the quest anymore. Maybe we should just send Gramina in alone. That's absolutely wild. I'll tell you what, that might be worth some dancing Muppet Gramina emotes right there. Okay, that was only her first action too, so she can go ahead and leave this room and head back down towards Thraken. And I hate to be a jerk on Gramina's behalf, but I think we're gonna leave him in there to deal with it. I don't think she should go in there and save his butt. There's no reason he shouldn't be able to take care of that monster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Johnny says, can buy a lot of potions of strength for that guy that can't kill the zombies. Yeah, no kidding. Now the abominations are not necessarily one of the easier monsters, but still 4 attack dice should mean a couple or maybe 3 turns to get rid of that monster. That he shouldn't ever miss with 4 attack dice. That is wild. Okay, moving back to Sigil again. Sigil is looking into the blue room. So first off, what is he doing? Is he searching for traps or attacking the monsters? So I guess we're asking, is he barging? No, he is searching for traps. Okay, he might be a little bit smarter than some of our other heroes. Luckily, there are no traps in this room, thanks to the prophecy of Gohan, but he knows. He did think to search. He's just training so he can level up. You're absolutely right, Johnny. Okay, let's have him shoot at the Dread Warrior. The Dread Warrior is definitely the biggest threat in this room. Gohan says, you're welcome. Yes. He's much more likely to kill the Goblin, but the Goblin is not within his line of sight right now. So let's go ahead and take a shot at the big guy there and see what we can do. Firing off an arrow from his crossbow, Sigil hits the Dread Warrior with a 2. And the Dread Warrior blocks 1 of those, taking 1 damage and leaving it with 3 body points remaining. Still definitely a threat, if there ever was one. That is both of Sigil's actions, so we are back to the monsters. And just like last turn, we have the 2 monsters in this room and the Ocean Abomination, I guess, on Thraken. Which one of these monsters is coming to attack Sigil? It's going to be the Goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mountain Goblin swings its sword at the Bard, hitting him with a critical hit of 2, which he blocks. Okay, there you go. I was just about to complain again about why didn't I move him out of the doorway, but he blocked the attack, so no worries there. Let's hope we can say the same for Thraken. The Ocean Abomination thrusts its spear at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. Boy, he better defend this. Which he does not defend. Thraken, buddy, what are you doing? He is down to 7 body points again. That is so disappointing, because I'll tell you what, Zargon is one of our original heroes. He was literally one of the heroes that went on episode 1's quest. Dude, you've been around since the beginning. Stop sucking. Okay, back to the front of the hero's turn now. We are at Moonstone the Druid, who is now shooting at that goblin. Sending a blast of energy from her Redwood wand. She hits that goblin with a 1. That's not going to kill it. It didn't block, but it does still have 1 body point remaining. Yeah, that's correct. Can she do anything else? Yeah, you know what? She might as well be the one to search for treasure, because I don't think it's really worth casting any of her spells. She's already standing in the room. Let's go ahead and have her search this room for treasure. Okay, this has got a special treasure in it. The first hero to search for here... Okay, the first hero to search for treasure in this room, excuse me, will find a crossbow and the Phantom Blade artifact. Not too bad. So the crossbow we'll just put in her inventory. That is something that we can sell off at the end of this quest because she doesn't need it. We actually don't have any heroes that need one of these. But the Phantom Blade is something she could equip if we want. I don't know how often we'll need it. This ornate dagger gives you 1 attack die. Any successful attack made with this dagger cannot be defended. So it is kind of handy. I don't know how often we'll risk that kind of an attack. We'll put it in her inventory for now. Phantom Blade. If she wants to equip that, she will have to take an action on a turn to do that. However, it is a small weapon, and she has an open slot for a small weapon, so that wouldn't take the place of any of the weapons she already has either. All right, moving on. Zargon, buddy, come on now. We're gonna drink the gifted potion of strength. That's gonna give him 2 extra attack dice just for this 1 attack. That means he is hitting this monster with a 6, and it only has 2 body points left. And it only has 2 defense dice too. So he has absolutely no excuse not to kill this monster with his attack, except I've jinxed it hardcore just now. Swinging his battle axe, strengthened by a potion of strength, Zargon hits that abomination with a 3. Okay, that's decent. The abomination blocks 1, still takes 2. It is dead. Okay. Wow. I mean, I'm not going to complain because he killed it, but I'll tell you what, that still was close, you know? He hit it with exactly the right amount to kill it, rather than it being overkill, which you could kind of argue it should have been. But he killed it. Whatever. He killed it. Let's get him moving off towards the green room now, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 off into the green room he goes. It is now Gramina's turn, and she is also headed into the green room, which means we've got all the heroes together here for a little while. Looks like actually most of the rest of the quests they're going to be together. You know what, guys? I think we'll finish this. I'm looking at it, and maybe I'm jinxing it, but I bet let's do the whole thing. I think we're going to finish it. Okay, Gramina. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 5, 6. Is there a world where she can see that goblin? Let me switch cameras so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, Gramina's position. Gohan says late night. Yes. The rest of these rooms look pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any reason to cut it in half. Does Gramina have line of sight to that goblin? It crosses the very tippy corner of that wall, but I think I'd allow that. How are you guys feeling about that? Can Gramina see that goblin well enough to shoot at it? I think I'd say yes. I could be talked into no, but I feel like that should be yes. No input. Ooh, you're leaving me to my own devices. Well, in that case, she's gonna shoot the guy. Putting an arrow in her crossbow, Gramina fires at that mountain goblin, hitting it with only 1. And the goblin does not block it. It was already damaged, so that does indeed mean it is dead. I'd say that makes sense too. The dice kind of reflected what we were looking at. She didn't get a clean hit on it, only hit it with 1 out of 3, but it didn't see it coming, so it didn't defend. I'd say that's a good reflection of what happened. Okay, I think we're also, after we finish this hero's turn cycle, I think I'm gonna go pee. I was trying to hold it till we got to the end of this room, thinking that we'd end the stream, but we're so close to the end. All right, moving forward, it is Sigil's turn, and we might want to do a hit and run with him here, because I don't think I want him to be the one to take the brunt of a Dread Warrior attack. So let's let him shoot, and then we'll move him out of the line of fire. Putting an arrow in his crossbow, he fires off at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. That's pretty good. But the Dread Warrior blocks both of them. So no damage for Sigil, and then we'll go ahead and move him back 2. We don't need to roll for that because he's guaranteed at least 2. That is going to take us to the monster's turn, and the only monster we have on the board is this Dread Warrior, 1, 2, 3, who's going to walk into the room and immediately attack Moonstone. Swinging its mace, it hits Moonstone with only 1. This is going to trigger her second of 3 Aegis Anthem defenses. She's got 4, so giving her an extra 3 is going to put her up to 7. And she blocked. With no help from that 1 extra white dice there. Okay. We are going to be back to the front of the hero's turn. However, I do think that I want to use the restroom real quick. So let me hit you guys with the be right back screen. This will probably not even take 60 full seconds. So we will be literally right back. Okay, we're back. All right, what are we doing? What game are we playing? Is this Minecraft? Because I'm definitely building a dirt hut. Oh, Hero Quest. Right. Yeah. Okay, I know what we're doing. We are back to the front of the hero's turn, which means it is Moonstone's turn, and she needs to attack that Dread Warrior. Now, she does not attack very well at close range, and Thraken does. So actually, what we want to do here is move her 1, 2, and then let her shoot at that guy. Firing a blast of energy with her Redwood Wand, she hits the Dread Warrior with a 1. But the Dread Warrior blocks the attack. Not too surprising. Johnny says, the music you play, are they all your band songs? Yes. Yes, indeed, Johnny. I'm not sure what you're listening to right at the moment. Let's see. It is, looks like we're about to hit the song Blind Loyalty, which is a song from a solo album that I did called Reclamation, where I wrote, recorded, and performed all of the music on the entire album. I thought this was Dream Phone. Good one, go on. Yeah, so the background music is instrumental versions of either songs that are from that Reclamation solo album or from my band Afterwinter's album Boundless. It goes back and forth. So you'll hear a Boundless song and then a Reclamation song and then a Boundless song and then a Reclamation song. You occasionally hear vocals because I forgot to mute them. Whoops. But yes, they are mine. Absolutely. That's all on Spotify and Apple Music and all that good stuff too, if you're interested in checking out those full versions of all that. Johnny says, that's cool. I've been into metal my whole life. I really like the riffs. Awesome. Thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate that. Same. I am definitely into kind of older metal. I've never been a big fan of screaming, me personally. So when people ask me what kind of music my band plays, I usually tell them like metal, kind of like Metallica. If I think I'm talking to a normal person, I might tell them like Metallica to get across the point that it's heavy music but not necessarily screaming. I'm not sure that it's really all that comparable to Metallica generally, but to an average person, that's what we go for. Absolutely. Oh, geez. Where are we at? Thraken. We want to get Thraken up there close. But yes, my day job is I'm a music teacher, actually. So I do private music lessons, and then I come home and play HeroQuest. So yeah, I've been playing for a long time because my dad was also a music teacher. So I have no conscious memories prior to playing guitar. He started me playing guitar on my 4th birthday, so I remember nothing else. All right, Thraken. Let's get some good luck here, all right? Swinging the battle axe at the Dread Warrior. He hits it with a 2. That's not bad. Can't complain about that. 2 is good. And the Dread Warrior doesn't block either one. Okay, still not quite dead, but that was a really good hit. Thraken, keep that up. Down to 1 body point. That guy. Surely they'll be able to finish it off between all of them there. Gromina loads up an arrow in her crossbow and fires at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2, probably finishing it off, I imagine. Yes, indeed, it blocks 1, but not the other, meaning she has just barely managed to finish it off. Gohan's 2 can be as bad as 1, yes. All right, way to go, Gromina. She can now move into that room. They do know that it is not trapped, so she might as well go ahead and move up in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I want her to open the door yet. We've been having some pretty bad luck with having heroes open doors when they don't have actions to do anything about what is behind them. But it could go either way. Yeah, you know what? Let's open the door. 9. For the sake of not wasting too much time. Gromina opens the door and finds herself in a fairly short hallway. Nothing too ridiculous here. We've got a wall right here. And also a wall out over here. Johnny, what kind of bands are you typically into? I know you said metal, but got any favorite types of bands or favorite songs by those bands? See, we got a door pretty much right across from where Gromina's at. We got another door down here near the end of the hallway, right here. Johnny says, anything you can think of other than death metal. Awesome. I'm right there with you on that. Never been into death metal. Again, it's the screaming. Well, and with certain types of death metal or black metal, and I'll be honest, I'm not super good with the subgenres, so I'm not sure what constitutes death metal and black metal, but anything that's just like kind of more noise rather than anything musical is not really my thing, for sure. I'm also pretty consistently annoyed by most modern pop and country. I like a lot of the older country, but modern country, it hurts my feelings from a musician's standpoint with how absolutely fake the instrumentation is. Okay, Gromina attacked and then moved, so she is done with her turn. Moving on to the Bard, it is Sigil's turn. And he is also moving into that room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And since he's here, he might as well do something. Secret doors or treasure, Sigil. We're doing secret doors, and there are none here. Gohan says Cowboy Pandaren, as Bo Burnham put it. You're absolutely right, yes. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even mind most of the lyrical content of country songs if it weren't for everything being fake. The drums are fake. A lot of the vocals are so auto-tuned you can't even hardly tell that it's a human that sang it. You look at the list of people who wrote the song and it's like, 4 or 5 people writing a single 3-minute long song, and then the next hit comes on the radio and it sounds like the same thing. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? If people like it, people like it. I certainly don't criticize people for being moved by whatever they're moved by, but it doesn't feel too much like art to me personally, so it's upsetting. All right, no monsters on the board, so we are back to Moonstone in the green room. Let's move her on. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll stop her right there and we'll let her search for treasure. Since she's not gonna make it all the way out the door, we might as well have her do something useful while she's here. Let's see what she finds. She's found a wandering monster. Oh, Moonstone. Yet another ocean abomination popping up out of the woodwork. There she is. Gohan says, yeah, I'm with you, but unfortunately I have a thing called an earworm and sometimes just can't let something go. I know exactly what you mean there. So years ago, my dad did what we called student bands, or what he called student bands. So he had enough students with enough talent that we were able to create bands out of the students. And we did that from 1998 until 2020. The 2020 season got canceled because of COVID. But for a long, long time we did student bands. And one year, we did a band called Gone Country. There was enough students that were into country music that we just formed a student band dedicated to country music. I want to say it might have been 2006 or 2007. I was the drummer of the band that year, and we did the song Mr. Mom. I don't remember which artist does that song, but that song is like that for me. I don't really like the song. It's a really neat idea, but it's annoying. But it was stuck in my head every time. Every time we played it, I would just be severely annoyed for hours after the practice or performance because that song would be stuck in my head. I can still picture that da 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 da. Ugh. Johnny says defines especially their early stuff. They're my favorite band. August Burns Red, Chevelle, Tool, pretty much anything heavy metal or rock, not into death metal, because I don't like all the demon Satan worship junk. Hey, what if it's got a great jam and the lyrics are good? I'm down. I do like a lot of the screaming stuff, but sometimes the voice has to be right or otherwise it's something that puts me off. Yes, Deftones, gotcha, Deftones, okay. Yeah, probably autocorrect hit you with that defines there. Deftones, nice, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. We have a certain thing that is comparable to Tool, just in that what I would literally consider both Afterwinter and stuff that I do is prog, progressive metal. So Dream Theater is one of my top favorite bands. We're probably not as complicated as they are, but yeah. So that the Tool reference there too also hits us with that. Gohan says, I don't mind some screamy stuff, but so long as it's used right and not just the whole song. I much prefer the clean vocals. Yeah. The band that I was in prior to Afterwinter had a vocalist that did both. And despite me not really liking screamy stuff, I think what he did was okay. He was good at both. He was a good singer and he was a good screamer. I could understand what he was saying when he screamed. I heard other people claim that they couldn't understand what he said, but maybe it was just because I was in on some of the lyric writing that I understood what he said. But I didn't mind it when he did it. I felt like he knew when to do it and when not to do it, and it felt right. It felt appropriate. So I know what you mean, for sure. Oh, let's see. That Ocean Abomination just popped up. It's attacking Moonstone. Thrusting a spear and hitting her with a 2. This is going to finish out her Aegis Anthem defense here. Hit her with a 2. And she only blocked 1. Dropping her down to 7 body points. Again, 7 dice and you can't even get 2 white shields. Wild. Sometimes screaming conveys what the words alone cannot. I see what you mean about it, yeah. I feel that it's necessary so little of the time for me personally that I'm not bothered at all if it just isn't there. But I see exactly what you're talking about. The raw emotion of it, whether or not you can even understand what they're saying, can get across an important emotion for sure. And that equals connection to a lot of people. It's all about that emotion, you know what I mean? That's where the connection lies. And sometimes that like just absolute frustration and anger is what you're trying to get across. Makes sense. All right, moving forward, it is Barbarian. Yes, Thraken. Oh no, Thraken. 1, 2. Dang it. All right, well, I suppose he can shoot at the Abomination. That's about all the use he's gonna be. Putting an arrow in his short bow, he fires off at that Abomination, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Okay. You know what, Thraken? I'm sorry. He killed that Abomination right off the bat. Hardly a turn after we put it down, Thraken's like, I'm done screwing around. This guy is dead. And he was right. Gohan says, exactly, it's all about the emotion. That's why I love your songs, because I can go on the journey even without words. Thank you very much for that, Gohan. That is 100% what we aimed at, especially for Paramnesia. When we were writing that double disc concept album that was laid out like a Broadway musical, that was exactly, emotion for us was king. It wasn't, all right, that was a cool riff. What's another cool riff? It was, what's going on in the story? What emotion are we trying to get across? How can we put that into the listener's mind, even if we're not saying what's happening? So I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that you picked up on that. That's exactly what we were trying to do. We want to be able to move the story forward meaningfully, even if there are not words telling the listener what's happening. Grimina. Grimina is hanging out right there in the hallway. Is she searching for traps or is she moving? She is also searching this hallway for traps, which is not a bad idea. There is one trap in this hallway, and it is a swinging blade trap. One of the nastier ones, hanging out right here in between those two doors. Okay, now she can move, so she might as well. And I think we're gonna go ahead and have her try to get rid of that trap. That is a nasty trap, and she is by far the most likely to get rid of it without getting hit by it. So let's go ahead and we're gonna walk her up to it. She doesn't have the action to actually get rid of it just yet. So we'll walk her up to it and get ready for that. Moving on, it is time for Sigil, who is right behind her. 1, 2, and I guess we'll have him open this door. I was gonna draw a card to see which door he's going for, but we don't want him to step on that trap. So we'll have him open up this door here. Gohan says, I can pick up on tonal shifts and things more than I feel is normal, so it really gets me in music. Yes, same here. If I am really critically listening to something, I feel it. I just feel it in a way that is not the same as hearing it. I totally get it. That is a very good skill to have. Or I guess it's not necessarily a skill. It's not something that's built. It's just something that you do. It just happens. In this room is a table. Table. We also have 3 swamp goblins. That's my favorite kind of writing to do, honestly. This is something that I've talked with a lot of musicians about, and I feel like, at least in my area, I am one of the only musicians that feels this way. I prefer the creative process to the performing process. I have essentially retired from live performance because I don't connect live very well. I'm not very social, despite doing this all the time. In person, I am extremely anxious and nervous, and so live performance has that anxiety and that nervousness kind of prevents me from connecting with the people that are right there with me. And I've spent my whole life doing it. It's not like I haven't done it. I have done a lifetime's worth of live performances, trust me. But But my passion in music lies much more in the creative process, the writing stuff, the recording stuff, the execution of this, playing the stuff we wrote in the studio is right where I want to be. And that's the energy that I want to put forward, is that. Putting it into that creation process rather than the exhibition process, the performative thing. Doesn't connect with me, really. So I would much rather sit in a room and think about exactly what we were just talking about, those tonal shifts and feeling things in a certain way and writing things that make sense for the feeling we're trying to get across, rather than like just grouping up a bunch of cool riffs. Usually it ends up being a group of cool riffs too, but that wasn't the point. One says, I'm good at bouncing ideas around during a creative process, but I cannot come up with anything on my own. Oh, see, my sister felt a lot that way too. My sister, at least at one point, was an extremely talented drummer. I mean, the best drummer I've ever played with. But she felt that way too. It didn't matter what sort of crazy nonsense we came up with, the bass player and I, hey, try this, what if you played this? She could do it every time. And she could come up with effective, ooh, I like that, but what if it were kind of like this? And it would always be good. But she also said that she couldn't come up with anything. I always wondered, you know, if there was some sort of psychological non-truth to that. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird things that's just hard to tell. I worried that, at least in her case, obviously I don't know about your case, but in her case, I wondered if I accidentally stifled her by bringing her into a situation with very strong, outspoken, creative minds when she joined that band when she was 14. So did we accidentally overpower something that would have blossomed if she had been kind of left on her own? You know what I mean? Her skill blossomed, no problem, but her creative process, I wonder. Hard to say. For me, it's more about unlocking a different perspective. Yeah. That's 100% of the reason to collaborate. I enjoy both processes. Working with Afterwinter is fantastic, particularly with working with the other guitar player, because he thinks of things I would never think of. I also enjoy doing things like Reclamation, because I don't have to worry about anybody else's perspective, and I can just go straight ahead. I don't have to worry about discussion or compromise, and I can just do it. But I value both. It's just fantastic. If I could spend 100% of my time doing that, I would. You could lock me in my room at the studio with the instruments and the recording stuff and slide some food under the door every once in a while, and I'd live the happiest life. Okay, before I get too distracted, because I will rabbit hole this hard. Before I get too distracted here, we've got 3 Swamp Goblins and a Scout Mercenary, which means we do need to do the Search for Ally thing at some point. Sigil does have another action, so is he going to search for traps, attack one of these monsters, or search for ally? He is going to do search for ally. Okay, and rather helpfully, this is Udren. Johnny says, in the blue room, but the 3 creatures, what is the small orange thing on the floor almost in the top corner? Oh, excellent question. 3 creatures. What is the small orange thing on the floor almost in the top corner? We're talking about maybe this right here? 2 spaces out from the corner. I'm being so dumb about this right now. I know I am. In the room with the creatures. Right? In the blue room. Okay, up here. Are we talking about this thing here? Gohan says, yeah, okay. Yeah, same, I can go on about music stuff even though I don't know anything about it. That is a skeleton. That is definitely an excellent question. That is he's just a decoration. He doesn't mean anything. But I'm glad you pointed that out, because I don't know if we've ever clearly shown that on stream. Actually, you said blue room, and for some reason when you said 3 creatures, I'm thinking the 3 goblins in this room. My brain defaulted to that, and then I was super confused. I was definitely just being dumb about it. Okay, so Sigil has searched for ally, and he has indeed found Udren. So this scout mercenary right here is Udren, the female bard, the one that they are looking for. So Udren is now going to be helping the heroes. We're just going to put her at the end of the line before the monster's turn. And she is essentially at least going to play this quest, excuse me, with scout stats, other than that she also has a rapier just like Sigil does, which means so long as she is near her full body points, she is going to be attacking with 3. One says, I wanted to be a rapper, but what a teenager has tried writing lyrics at some point. Oh yeah. What teenager hasn't tried? Yeah, for any genre. Very true. I have to imagine. Now, given I had a weird upbringing when it comes to that stuff. You know what I mean? Being around music from the moment I was born, being raised in a home with a music teacher, meant that I was skewed in several ways. The things that I did and were normal for me as a kid, I found out when I started going to school were not normal at all. You know what I mean? Just being around that sort of a thing. Writing lyrics, writing songs, playing guitar, practicing guitar, doing something other than playing video games or even playing outside. I wasn't into sports. You know what I mean? So yeah, the things that I thought were normal, turns out I was the only person on the face of the earth doing them, apparently. So yeah, I certainly have written lots of lyrics, but I can only hope that other people have too. Okay, so it is now technically Udren's turn, and because she's only got 3 body points, and if we leave her right there, she's gonna get totally surrounded by goblins, I think we should move her out of the room. So we're gonna go ahead and roll her and just kind of go 1, 2, and 3 and put her out here in the hallway. She's not really gonna be super useful to us, being that she's so low on body points. It doesn't matter that much if she dies. She will not be joining the heroes' ranks, but we do get a reward if she makes it to the end of the quest. So it'd be handy to get the reward, but if something happens, if something goes wrong, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. That is gonna take us to the monster's turn, and we've got these 3 goblins here. It is going to be this goblin right here coming up here to attack Sigil, who has again somehow been the one to open a door. Swamp Goblin swings its sword at Sigil, hitting him with a 2. And he blocks it. All right, cool. Johnny says, there's any of the heroes have a potion that she could use? Ah, that's a good point. So the quest book kind of makes it out like she's not allowed to do that. But I see exactly your point. Like, she has 3 body points, but because the book says that she has scout stats, it kind of indicates that 3 is her max. It shouldn't be. That's maybe something that should be edited in the book itself. Like, she ought to have starting out hero points or higher than 3 anyway. I think it left her down to 3 just as more of a challenge to get her to the end, and also just so that it's not unfair that suddenly the quest has 5 heroes instead of 4. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's definitely a kind of a questionable thing about whether they should be able to do that or not. All right, moving on to Moonstone. That blue room up there is all searched out, so she's just gonna head on down. I don't want anybody to walk over that trap until Gramina has a chance to disarm it, so let's just have her attack that goblin right there. Sending a blast of energy with her redwood wand. She hits the swamp goblin with a 1, and it does not block, dropping it down to 1 body point remaining. Johnny says, I thought she was just down and could use a healing potion, but if that is her max, there's nothing we can do. Yeah. And Gohan says, I'm sure Gramina has a potion she could spare. Yeah, a potion or 4. Plus she has a healing spell and a healing spell scroll, too. She's not gonna die, let me tell you that. Okay. Boy, do I need to blow my nose again? I hope not. That'd be 3 this stream. That's straight up overkill. It is an ad time though. All right. This is the premiumist stream we've ever done. 3 nose blows in a single stream. I'm telling you what, you guys. You're getting the deal right here. There we go. That ought to do it, hopefully. Oh, Thraken. What can Thraken do? I'm going to guess the answer is not much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's literally no more squares out there in the hallway. Although it does kind of look like he has line of sight to that goblin, if I'm being totally honest with you. Yeah, you know what? That's not even questionable. He absolutely has line of sight to that goblin. Okay. Well, he shoots an arrow off at that goblin and hits it with a 1. And it doesn't block. I was kind of hoping we were going to get a super dead there. I don't think we've had one tonight. Do it. If Gramina had line of sight, he does. Yep, absolutely. Okay, that's going to take us to Gramina. Speaking of her, let's get rid of this trap. Let's hope, because this thing is nasty. Just like last time, she has to get a black shield 2 times in a row to fail disarming this trap. Here is her first attempt, and she is immediately successful at making sure that that swinging blade does not swing out of the ceiling, disabling the swinging mechanism, and that was her entire turn. Movement and disarming a trap. Okay, Sigil, because she's Gramina. Exactly. Let's move Sigil into the room. Have we searched for traps? Okay, actually, we're going to card this. Is Sigil going to search for traps, or is he barging? He is indeed going to search for traps. Okay, no traps in that room. He could have barged, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and get him in there 1 and 2. Now, he doesn't have an action to actually attack, but he's in there. Yay, no traps. He's in there and he's ready. Do we take Udren back in there and try and get a hit? If other heroes were in there too, I would be more likely to say yes. Because Swamp Goblins could one-shot her. Swamp Goblins could definitely one-shot her. Thraken, no, not Thraken. Moonstone's got an elixir of life that would bring her back, but that would be kind of wasted. Gohan says run away. Okay. We will indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're not going to put her in front of the door. I definitely don't want her to open the door. Okay, unfortunately that does mean 2 Swamp Goblins are both going to attack Sigil, but alright, he's got like a bunch of healing potions. He should be fine. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say a bunch. He's got 2. First Swamp Goblin hits him with a 2. He doesn't block either of them, knocking him down to 5 body points. He'll be fine. And Johnny says, is that a small creature next to the table? Yes, this guy right here is also a Swamp Goblin. Yes. Also attacking Sigil and hitting him with a 1. Which he, again, doesn't block. Sigil, if you're going to barge into a room, you got to block some attacks, bro. What are you doing? You can't barge without blocking. Johnny says, I was going to say, if you didn't move that last player where that creature just moved, you would have had line of sight. Yeah. Sigil, what are you doing? I so badly wish that Twitch would have let me leave that text as Sigil, you moron. I still can't believe that Twitch was upset about the use of the word moron. Whatever. Johnny says that may have had line of sight to where it just was next to the table. Yeah. Udren doesn't have long range, so that's probably kind of what happened there. Put it as moron. Yeah. There you go. Okay, let's at least get Moonstone in here to help Sigil out, because he's being a dummy. We'll get Sigil in here. Or, sorry, Moonstone. Moonstone is going to fire at this goblin right here, firing a blast of energy and hitting it with a 2. That ought to do it. The goblin did not block. That is 1 dead goblin. Given this is one of the harder variants, this is still the easiest monster to kill in the game. So really, there shouldn't be any too big of a deal to get rid of these guys. Okay, Thraken. I don't think they need Thraken down here to help. Surely not. Between the 2 of them, they ought to be able to take care of that. Let's get down into this door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Move the camera a little bit closer so that we can see what's going on. Opening the door into this room. I need to make sure that there is a wall right there. There is another door leading out that direction. In the room, there is a swamp orc. Swamp orc drawer. There we are. a swamp orc, and another scout mercenary. Now there's no reason to do the search for ally because we've already found her. This scout is really only there in case you accidentally killed Udren and you're still searching. What do you have to do to complete the quest for tonight? They just have to find the way out, and they are almost there. There's only a couple more things to do. This room, couple monsters in a hallway, and one more room. Johnny says, is it clearing all the rooms or getting somewhere specific or killing a certain creature boss? It's, the goal literally is getting somewhere specific. The exit secret door in this case, but we always clear every room also, just kind of as an alternate goal. It bothers my completionist a little bit if we don't clear out every room. But we're almost there. There's actually only one more room we haven't explored. Okay, moving on. No, not moving on. Thraken opened a door, but what is he going to do now? Is he searching for traps or is he barging? Barging! That's the Thraken we know and love. He is definitely barging. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, he's got enough movement to get to either monster. Which one is he going for? He's going for the Scout Mercenary. He says, the heck with the Scout Mercenaries. I'm done with them. Let's kill them all. Swinging his battle axe, Thraken hits that mercenary with a 3, which is indeed enough to kill it if it doesn't block. And it didn't. No more Scout Mercenaries. Johnny says, yeah, I'm the same. I would have to clear all the rooms, make sure I get everything, all loot. Yes. Yes. That is part of the reason, too, that in my homebrew rules I have beefed up the heroes to be able to kind of explore on their own without that being a death sentence. I have had heroes in the past, or players, guest players in the past, mention that they were going to stop searching rooms for treasure because they were getting worried about getting the heroes out alive, and I always encourage against that. You know, it's like searching for treasure in the rooms is like kind of a big part of the point of the board game as it stands. So like you should definitely do it unless you're like desperately trying to keep a hero alive and a trap or a monster would definitely kill them. I always search. Grimina. There she is right there. She is going to be heading off into the, well, 1, 2, 3. Not into the room, I guess. Is she searching for traps or is she shooting at that orc? She is searching for traps in this room and there are none. All right, Sigil. Over here with the goblin. Now, Sigil does attack better at long range, so let's go ahead and move him 1 out. And he is going to shoot an arrow at that goblin, hitting it with a 2. And it does not block. Dead goblin. Johnny says, so you play with other people or is it just you most of the time? It is just me most of the time. We will occasionally have a guest. Savannah that does the painting streams, my wife, occasionally comes down here and plays when she can. Justin Paulett that was in the chat earlier comes and plays sometimes. We also, I'm not sure yet, but one of my best friends in the entire world who occasionally comes in here as Merlin Zanzar guested on a single episode, and he's camera shy, so I don't know if he will guest again, but I hope he does, because he and I used to play weekly this game. But yes, actually I kind of prefer it to be just me most of the time, just for the sake of consistency. And we actually have quite a bit less chat interaction whenever there is a guest on, generally speaking. So it's one of those things, but it is nice to have a guest every once in a while. Because this game is meant to be played with at least 2 people. 5 people max, 2 people minimum, and I just figured out a way to randomize things to play on my own. Let's see, Udren, it is Udren's turn, but I have a worried feeling about her attacking that orc. We might just keep her out of harm's way. If I'm being honest, there's a part of me that wants to utilize her, but it was probably safer to just keep her out of harm's way. Okay, let's skip Udren's turn, and we'll go to the monster's turn. There's only one monster on the board here, this swamp orc, and it could, either attack Thraken or Grimina. It's going for Grimina, actually. Doesn't like the look of that orc right there. Swamp orc swings its sword, and hits her with a 1. Drop the dice. Get back here, dice. She blocked it, but just barely. Only 1 white shield in that entire thing. Okay, back to the front of the hero's turn. That means it is Moonstone. Are we searching for secret doors, searching for treasure, or leaving the room? She is searching for treasure, getting it out of the way. Let me make sure there's nothing special in here. Okay. Yep, no special treasure search. At the far end of a crooked shelf, Moonstone finds a wooden box containing 25 gold coins. Not bad, not bad. That's going to put us up to 2,650 total. And then, is she searching for secret doors or leaving? She is leaving. So we'll have to make sure Sigil searches for secret doors before he leaves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then she can't move any further. Moving on to Thraken. Thraken is going to back up here and attack, swinging his battle axe and hitting that swamp orc with a 3. Is that... Yeah. All right, cool. This is the first time this has happened tonight. I've been waiting on it. That is a skilled strike, and that swamp orc is super dead. Swamp monsters have a little less defense and a little more attack. It couldn't possibly defend that many skulls. Super dead. And out it goes. Okay, now that most of the heroes are surrounding Udren, by the way, she is also going to mention to them that they are looking to escape through the lower levels, and that she's pretty sure Nelath's remains, which is what we're here searching for, are in these lower levels. I am also to point at this blue and black room right here, which is right there in relation to the rest of the heroes, as being the exit room. And Udren is telling them that. Johnny says, what is a skilled strike? Auto hit. Skilled strike is when the heroes have rolled so many skulls that the monster couldn't possibly survive the attack, even if they defended as best as they could. If that makes sense. So in that case, Thraken rolled 3 skulls. That orc only has 1 defense dice and 2 body points. So even if that orc had rolled a black shield on the 1 defense dice, it still got hit enough to die. So that'd be a skilled strike. Also just terminology I made up. Okay. Okay, so moving on. That was Thraken moved and attacked, so it is Gramina's turn. Gramina, are we searching for secret doors, walking in there search for treasure, or just walking to the door? She's walking in there and searching for treasure. Fair enough. It's Gramina after all. She is kind of the one that we want to be searching for treasure, thanks to her skills. Let's see what she finds in here. There is a mismatched stone in the floor that seems slightly raised above the others. Gramina finds that it pulls away from the other stones in the floor very easily. Under it is a discolored sack containing 25 gold coins. However, thanks to Gramina's gold hunter skill, that is actually 50 coins that she found, which is going to put us up to 2,700 right on the dot. Okay, Sigil. You're falling behind the party, my friend. He is going to search this room for secret doors, find none, and then head right on. Gohan says, Midnight Quest, where everything is made up and searching for traps don't matter. Yes. Oh, man. Now, there's a reference I understand, Gohan. I have spent so many years watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? That is fantastic. Colin Mockery for the win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he can get all the way around. Colin has always been my favorite. I haven't watched very much of the newer stuff. Most of what I've watched was when Drew Carey was the host. I don't think I've watched too much. I've seen some clips of when, is her name Alicia? That's the host now? I've seen some clips, but I don't think I've ever seen a full episode. Udren also moving along. We had a dice that didn't quite land right there. Not very hard, but moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't want her to be the one to open the door, so we'll leave her in the back there. No monsters on the board, so Moonstone. Also not moving very fast. 1, 2, 3. Is there anything she can do? I think we are going to go ahead and we're going to have her cast Rock Skin. And this gives the targeted hero an extra defense dice until they take damage. And see, every single hero is in her line of sight right now. It might not be a bad idea to give that to Udren, honestly. Let's do it. I mean, I still don't know if I'm even going to have Udren go up to somebody, but it's a little bit of nice insurance. Okay, Thraken. Let's have Thraken open the door. 1, 2, and 3. Opening the door out into the hallway. I didn't realize the camera angle sucked right there. Here we go. Moving out into the hallway, we see a wall, some more walls, yet another wall, and a door. One more thing, or rather I guess two more things. A Chaos Warrior and a Swordsman Mercenary. There and there. Okay, Thraken, are we trap searching or are we barging? Barging, of course. Nothing but barge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He can barge right up to that guy. Does he have any sort of things that can boost up his attack anymore? No. He might Rod of Telekinesis somebody, depending on how this goes. He swings his battle axe at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. Almost said 3. Sorry, 2. Dread Warrior blocks 1, takes 1, reducing it to 3 body points. Let's see, we've still got Gramina and Sigil that can attack it. Ooh, item swap. Okay. Well, we can do that too. Trying to determine if he should Rod of Telekinesis this guy or if it's going to be a waste of item. Yeah, I think we will. And then we'll do that item swap. So finishing out Thraken's turn before we do anything. Once per quest, you may use this rod to trap a monster within a magical force. A trapped monster misses its next turn. So this Chaos Warrior, if it survives to the monster's turn, will have to miss that turn. Okay, which hero is losing an item? It's gonna be Gramina. That's fine, because she's got a billion things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She has 8 items she could possibly lose. And let's see, we got to get a card that we can, here we go. She is going to lose the 3rd item, which is a Bridge Spell Scroll. This is a scroll that lets you jump over a trap for free, basically. And that item is being transferred to Moonstone. So the Bridge Scroll is headed off over to Ye Old Druid. Bridge Scroll. That works out really well, actually, because Gramina's probably never going to need to jump over a trap for free. Being that she can actually get rid of them really easily, giving that to a hero who has more of an issue jumping over traps is actually really helpful. So that worked out. That worked out really well. Okay, moving on. It is indeed Gramina's turn, and although her pockets may be slightly lighter, she is moving off into the hallway as well, and firing an arrow at that Chaos Warrior. Hitting it with only a 1, which it blocks. I think I might have rolled defense earlier as if it were a Dread Warrior instead of a Chaos Warrior, but oh well, close enough. That's going to take us up to Sigil the Bard. Moving along here too, 1, 2, and 3. Finding himself there in front of the other heroes, he can go ahead and fire at that guy too. Putting an arrow in his crossbow, he fires at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1, and it doesn't block, dropping it to 2 remaining body points. Let's see, he also has a skill that boosts everybody's attack. Let me remind myself how that one works too. The Bard and every hero in the Bard's line of sight may use 1 extra attack dice for as long as there are monsters in the Bard's line of sight. Using the skill does not count as an action. That might not be a bad idea. Honestly, his healing song would be really helpful right about now too. Let's do Inspiring Tale first. So Sigil is going to sing an inspiring tale to everybody, which is going to give everybody that we're looking at right now 1 extra attack dice for as long as Sigil can see monsters. So at least for the length of the fight in the hallway here, everybody's getting an extra attack dice. Keeping in mind, Udren does not have long range, so right at the moment, there is not a single thing that she can do. It is now the monster's turn, and it is the Chaos Warrior here. However, the Chaos Warrior has been frozen by the Rod of Telekinesis and can't do anything. The Swordsman Mercenary can move up here, but also can't attack because the Chaos Warrior is in the way. Moving back to the front of the line, it is now Moonstone's turn, and she's moving up here. She does not have line of sight to the monsters. We should have moved Udren out of the way. I just didn't think about it. Is there anything she can do to help out what's going on? She's got some healing spells she could cast. Let's go ahead and cast a healing spell on Sigil, because he's beat up. Moonstone is going to cast the Rain of Restoration healing spell on Sigil, which is going to give him 5 body points back. This is tier 2 magic, so more powerful magic she gained access to through the magic skill set. And this is going to push Sigil back up to 9 body points, which is nearly his full amount. That also means his close range attack is going back up, which is nice. All right, moving on to Thraken. He is again attacking the Chaos Warrior, this time with an extra attack dice thanks to Sigil's Inspiring Tale. Swinging his battle axe, he hits that Chaos Warrior with a 4. And the Chaos Warrior cannot stand up to that, blocking 1, taking 3 body points of damage, and being destroyed. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We want him close range on this Swordsman Mercenary too, so we'll go ahead and move him 1 forward. Grimina also moving forward and putting an arrow in her crossbow and firing at that Swordsman Mercenary. Also, boosted attack thanks to the Inspiring Tale. She misses. Whoops. Well, Grimina's not really that great of a shot. She's more of a close range girl. But you know what? She did a little bit. Nobody searched this hallway for traps, now that I think about it. Did she move? She did, didn't she? I just heard a really weird noise come from upstairs. I don't know what the heck that was. Okay. She moved though, didn't she? Yeah, she did. Okay, so she doesn't have an action to search anything. Okay, that is going to take us to Sigil, who is also going to head out into the hallway here and shoot at that Swordsman Mercenary, also boosted by the Inspiring Tale. Hits the Swordsman Mercenary with a 3. Now these guys, that is all of its body points, but it does have high defense. Okay, blocked 1, took 2, surviving with 1 body point remaining. Ooh, we're a little past time. We're so close. We're going to get this done pretty close to 3. I bet it'll be 3:30. But it was so close. All right, we better keep on moving quick then, I guess. Let's leave Udren right where she is. She can't affect anything. She doesn't have any long range. We want Moonstone to get down here in line too, so let's not mess with Udren. Monster's turn. The Swordsman Mercenary attacks Thraken, hitting him with a 2. Thraken blocks 1 and takes the other one, dropping him to 6 body points remaining. And that is going to take us back to the front of the hero's turn. Johnny says, can the monsters actually trigger a trap, especially not one found yet? No, that is a good question, Johnny. The monsters are assumed to know where the traps are, and so either avoid them or avoid stepping on whatever would trigger them. So the monsters can step on trapped squares without triggering the trap. And that's not one of my rules. That is an actual HeroQuest rule. Moonstone. Because firing there. Yeah, she can hit that guy. And also, she was involved in the Inspiring Tale, so she's also... That stinks, yeah, yeah. She is also attacking with boosted attack. Shooting at that guy and hitting him with a critical hit of 4. He is surely dead here. Yeah, definitely, only blocked 1. That would have been insane to see 4 black shields on there. Possible, but insane. Dead Mercenary. For a long time, I did have, in my machinery skill set, the heroes had abilities to set traps for the monsters that they couldn't, the heroes couldn't trigger them, but the monsters would. And in the literal years that was a mechanic in my homebrew of this game, nobody used it. Nobody ever used it. I didn't even use it when I would play by myself, not before I started streaming. So I took it out. I assumed, well, this mechanic must just be not that helpful, because nobody, including myself, has ever used it. Okay, who was that took that guy out? It was Moonstone. Yeah, so we're at Thraken. Thraken, are we trap searching or are we moving? He's not worried about those stinking traps. No, no, no. Off he walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And luckily there aren't any traps in that hallway. But he found out kind of the hard way. Opening our final door, we see in this room... Oh my gosh, no, this is totally not the final door. Aw, dang, I thought this was the last room. No, there's totally a bunch more rooms in this quest. Oh, we should have called it. We should have called it back when we were at the halfway point. I've done a big stupid. Well, there's another door in this room. There in this room is a mountain orc. Dang it. A mountain orc. An orc archer. And a dread warrior. Oh man, this is the exit door. The exit door is a secret door that leads out right here, which opens the moment Udren walks into that room. But there's also 2 more rooms headed up north. Oh my gosh, it's just past 3 a.m. for me. This is insane. If we keep going, how late is it gonna get? Okay, I guess we better hurry. Thraken, what are we doing? Are we trap searching? Yes, okay, he's learned a little bit of a lesson here. He is searching that blue and black room for traps, and there are none. Grimina, she's not on camera, but she's about to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does she have line of sight to that orc? Yes, I think she does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's within range. She has line of sight to it. Let's shoot at it. Now there for a moment, Sigil did not have line of sight to any monsters, so the Inspiring Tale has worn off. Grimina fires her crossbow at the mountain orc, hitting it with nothing. She missed. Again, Grimina apparently not a very good shot. Sigil. Moving forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could probably say the same thing for him, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That orc is barely within his range, and I would say he does have line of sight to it, although he is very far away from it. He's more than a pencil's length away from it. You know what? I think that is technically legal, but instead, let's go ahead and use his healing song. Which is you and all the heroes within your line of sight restore up to 2 body points each. This cannot give a hero more than their maximum number of body points. And that's going to use up the last of his skills. However, it's healing literally everybody 2 body points. So it's putting him back up to 10, his full. It's putting Grimina back up to 8. Putting Thraken also back up to 8. And putting Moonstone up to 9. Because he is within line of sight of every single one of the heroes. So... shoot him in the toe. Yeah, there he goes. And speed run. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and move Udren up here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though, again, we probably won't actually have her do anything. Monster's turn. Which one of these monsters is coming to attack Thraken? Apparently, it is going to be this Dread Warrior, which is not super fun. Swinging its mace, it hits Thraken with a 3. And he blocks 2 of those, only losing 1 body point, which isn't too bad, dropping him back down to 7. This Orc Archer is also going to move and get within range and fire. The Orc Archer hits Thraken with a critical hit of 3. He blocks 2 and only takes 1. Not too bad. Can't complain. Unfortunately, that undoes Sigil's healing song, but, you know, just for him. Moonstone. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it, that Dread Warrior is not within range for her to attack. Okay, she has some healing spells, but it's a little bit questionable about whether or not anybody actually needs one right at the moment. It wouldn't hurt, but I think we'll leave it for now. Okay, Thraken. Thraken is swinging his battle axe at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 1. Oh, come on, guys, we're trying to speed run this. Don't hit with 1s. And the Dread Warrior blocks the attack. Ah, jeez. Okay, I think Thraken is going to drink the gifted potion of healing that he has. 1, 2, 3, and 4, bringing him back up to 10 body points. That wouldn't have stuck around after the quest was over anyway, so he might as well drink it rather than her taking up one of her spells. With his other action, he is also going to search that room for secret doors, in which case he will indeed find that the exit of the quest is out that secret door right there. I'm going to go ahead and close one of these screens. Okay. Moving on, Grimina. Does she have anything that would boost her attack? She has a genie spell. Let's get that done. Yeah. Okay, Grimina is going to cast Genie. She summons a genie and instructs it to attack the Dread Warrior, and it does so immediately. Hitting that Dread Warrior with a 2. Whoa. I threw a dice hard, and the Dread Warrior completely blocks it. Guys, is it just me, or does the Genie spell suddenly suck a little bit? What has happened to that Genie spell? And also, what happened to that dice that I dropped? That's 2 nights in a row now that I've dropped a dice so hard that I don't even see it. Ah. Oh, okay, I found it. Ugh. It is literally like a centimeter beyond my reach. Gohan says, did you find the one from last night? Yes, I did. I didn't remember until the next day, but I did get it. Which is, it was kind of pathetic, honestly, because you even reminded me at the end of the stream to get it, and I still forgot. Oh, come on, what? There, okay. Success. Yeah, Gohan says, not my fault, I reminded you. Yes, you did. Okay, well, Grimina can still regular attack too. It sucks that the Genie spell just did absolutely nothing there. Grimina shoots also at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. And luckily it didn't block either of those. At least there's that. Taking it down to 2 body points remaining. Okay, Sigil. Sigil can also shoot at that Dread Warrior as he is. Hitting it with another 2. And thankfully that Dread Warrior did not block either of those either, so dead. Now Sigil has another action, but I do not want him to go into that room alone. And I would be nervous again about Udren going in there. Okay. This might actually be a time for that, though. Let's see what we roll. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sigil is going to go in there. And Udren, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. Udren did not roll enough to get her where I wanted her to. That really sucks because now Sigil's in a bad place. I was hoping I could get Udren to this square, attack, and then she can just leave the quest. But she did not get enough dice to get over there. That sucks. Okay, well, is what it is. Monster's turn. We have the Mountain Orc and the Orc Archer. Let's take that Mountain Orc first. It could get either to Sigil or Thraken, and it is... Oh, luckily it's actually going for Thraken. Mountain Orc swings its flail. Oh no! Julie, not now! We're trying to speed run the quest. Okay, we'll get a wandering monster. Look who's finally back from the dead. Yes, good to see you, Julie. Hope you're doing good. Okay, let me finish what I'm doing so I don't forget. That monster missed entirely, so nothing there, I think. I got totally distracted there. I made a big stupid and I thought we were almost done, so I pushed beyond the ending time and then realized that there were still 2 more rooms left to go in the quest. So we're trying to go fast, but we'll get that monster in there. Orc Archer also here attacking Sigil, but also missing. Okay, monsters aren't into it. All right, let's see what's happening. Jack of Hearts is a monster that we can get. Swamp Orc, well, that makes sense. That's a monster that actually would be here. And who, pray tell, is it attacking? It can't go for Gramina or Thraken because there are no open spaces. So that is going to get us... let's see, it could only be Moonstone or Sigil, and we got a red card, so that'd be Moonstone. Swamp Orc back here at Moonstone. There we go. Swinging the mace immediately, and hitting her with a 2, which she doesn't block. Dropping her down to 7. Okay, that was the end of the monster's turn, so we're back to the front, which means we are again at Moonstone. So let's move her back and attack so that she can get her full dice range. Shooting with her Redwood Wand, she hits that orc with a 1, which it does not block, but it also does not die. It has 1 more body point left. How's things been going for you, Julie? It has been a little while. Hope everything's going good and you're doing good. Thraken. Thraken is also attacking here. Swinging his battle axe at that Mountain Orc and missing. Thraken. Not now. We're trying to go fast, Thraken. All right, yeah, he doesn't have a single thing he can do about that. Okay, well, that sucks. Yeah, nope, there's nothing he can do about that. Okay, Gramina is going to shoot at that orc. Hopefully she'll get rid of it so she can get in there to help Sigil. Shooting an arrow at the orc. Gramina hits it with a 1. That's not going to kill it. It doesn't block it at least, so it's down to 1 body point. But, jeez. Bad news. The heroes have suddenly decided that after all, we are not speedrunning this quest. We're doing it as slow as possible. Okay, Sigil is going to chase this Orc Archer down and try and get rid of it. He is back up to full health at the moment, so his rapier does full 3 dice damage. Swinging it, he hits that archer with a 2, and the archer doesn't defend a single thing. Knock it out of here. Gohan said, this is the weirdest version of Sonic the Hedgehog I've ever seen. I could totally go for a chili dog right now, actually. That sounds really tasty. Let's see, Udren. Can Udren do anything? No, I'm gonna send her out of this quest as soon as she can. Oh, she could turn around and attack that orc. Although if it hits her back, it's gonna be bad news. I think we do usually make summoned monsters chase down the heroes they were summoned to hit, though. Let's give it a try. Udren swings her sword at the swamp orc, hitting it with a 1. And it doesn't block. Hey, she actually did manage to kill it. Way to go, Udren. She was useful for something. Monster's turn. We just have the Mountain Orc attacking Thraken again, swinging its flail and missing him. Well, can't complain about that. That is going to take us back to Moonstone, who is going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and shoot at that orc with her wand. Hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. Worth a try. Hopefully Thraken has a little bit better luck. Thraken swings his battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 3. That's more like it. Because that orc is already damaged, that is a skilled strike. That orc is super dead. Get out of here, orc. We got other monsters to kill. Okay, with that, Thraken can move into the blue and black room. Is he worried about searching for treasure, though? 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. He doesn't have an action left. We'll leave it at that. Gramina. Now she, we might worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is she worried about searching for treasure? No, she is not. 6. She is opening the door up into this hallway where we find a wall, another wall, a door. Okay, Gramina, are we stopping to search for traps here? No, she is not. How many did she move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, 8, and I'm going to stop her right there because thanks to her trapsmith skill, I am required to tell her if at any point she is standing next to a trap, and right now she is. So I think we can assume that she would stop and search for traps in this hallway. She does have the action to do that, and she will find that there is a swinging blade trap right in front of her. Julie says, this is entertaining. Man, how I missed so many sessions. Big G, yeah! You stop back in for a Gramina quest, so you can't beat that. Okay, Sigil. Sigil the Bard down here. Or as Julie insists, me, the Bard. Are you searching for treasure? No. No treasure searches. Only getting through. Well, you know what? I'm going to override that because he can't walk out there without stepping on that trap. We want Gramina to be the one to get rid of that trap. So let's have him treasure search, actually. Okay. So this is a regular card with some extra stuff. He found a heroic brew. Way to go, Sigil. You've taken home all the winnings. Sigil, that's obviously you. Okay, also, now Udren's not in the room to do this, so we'll go ahead and we'll move her next. This is supposed to trigger when somebody searches for treasure in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that she's in here, this will make more sense. This is our reward for keeping her alive to the end of the quest. She opens a hidden compartment where she had hid 200 coins, which she gives to us for essentially rescuing her from having to put up the facade. So it's going to put us up to 2,900 coins total. And we are definitely going to have Udren leave this quest, despite the other heroes heading up to the other 2 rooms up there. Okay, back to the front of the hero's turn. It is Moonstone right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's moving very slowly. That's all right, because everybody's stuck behind that trap. Thraken also moving pretty slowly. 1, 2, 3. He can search this room or the hallway for secret doors and find none, since he's not doing anything else. Gramina is going to try and disarm that trap. Her first attempt is successful. She disables the mechanism allowing the swinging blade trap to swing. Very nice. Moving on to Sigil. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he can't move his 5th square because Gramina's in the way. Udren is going to leave the quest through the secret door. So she has successfully left this quest and headed on into the next one. The rest of the heroes will be right behind her shortly. Moonstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly enough squares to open the door into this room. in this green room, there is one more door, for real this time. Also in this room is a Dread Warrior. There we go. Okay, Moonstone, are we trap searching or are we shooting? She's trap searching. There is a trap in this room as well. It is a pit trap. That is right here. Definitely one that a hero might step on if they didn't know. Thraken! Let's get in there and hit this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thraken swings his battle axe at the Dread Warrior. Okay, come on, fingers. I've thrown a dice and I don't know where it went. Okay. Hitting that Dread Warrior with a 1. Come on, Thraken man. Well, it didn't block. Taking it down to 3. I wish those dice weren't translucent. It makes them kind of hard to see. Make sure I'm not sitting on it. Nope. I guess that dice went into the void. Is that in the void with you guys somewhere? Because it has just straight up disappeared. Huh. Well, I guess that's yeah, go on, says that's mine now. Yes. Well, you know what? Somebody might want to hit me with a dice swap, actually, so that we can get back to a set that has 6. I'm gonna have to look for that after the stream. That's what I get for trying to hurry. Grimina. Not moving very fast. 1, 2. She is shooting at the Dread Warrior, putting an arrow in her crossbow and firing, only hitting the guy with a 1. And again, he doesn't block it, dropping him to 2 body points. I hate when that happens. That's super frustrating. Like, there's no reason that it shouldn't just be like right here, but it's totally disappeared. Oh, nope, I found it. Haha! You can't escape. Moving on to Sigil. Can he get a little? Nope. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I guess he's also shooting at that Dread Warrior right there. Firing an arrow from his crossbow and hitting the Dread Warrior with a 2. The Dread Warrior blocks 1 and takes the other, meaning it is down to 1 body point remaining. Okay, being that Udren has left the quest, it is the monster's turn, which means that Dread Warrior is attacking Thraken, swinging its mace and hitting him with a 2. Thraken blocks 1 and takes the other, dropping him to 6 body points. Okay, we've got all 4 heroes right here. Surely there's no reason that they wouldn't be able to take this thing out. It's got 1 body point left and 4 heroes attacking it. Moonstone shoots with her Redwood Wand, hitting the Dread Warrior with a 2. Yeah, that ought to do it right there, honestly. And it does. It doesn't block a single thing. It is dead. So reset on the Dread Warrior drawers. And Moonstone can go ahead and move in there. Yeah, they know about the 1 trap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is she worried about any other sort of searches in here? Ah. No overcomplications either. She is headed up to this room and she is going to open it. This is for sure the final room in this quest. And in this room there is a mountain goblin. I hope that's not too much of a spoiler that there's no secret doors. There is a Chaos Warrior, and there is 1 final Scout Mercenary. Right here. Okay, Moonstone doesn't have the action to do anything about any of the rest of this. So it is Thraken's turn. All right, Thraken, are we trap searching or are we barging? That's why I hadn't moved him yet, because I knew he was going to barge. He always barges. Who are we barging at? He's barging at the goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lucky for him, no traps on those 2 squares. And he swings his battle axe at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 2. And the goblin doesn't defend. Look at that. The spoils of barging. Sometimes you walk in and just absolutely annihilate a goblin before it even realizes a door opened. Grimina, are we worried about searching for treasure in this room? This secret door's treasure or leave? That's no help. She is leaving. So she's headed up to help fight in that room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this I suppose makes the most sense. I'd really like her to fight the Chaos Warrior, because Chaos Warriors are undead, so she gets an extra attack dice, but she didn't have enough roll. Swinging the Spirit Blade at the Scout Mercenary, she hits it with a 2. It does not block either hit, dropping it down to 1 body point remaining. With that, we have Sigil the Bard. Actually, we should card this same thing. Secret doors, treasure, or leave. He's going for treasure in this room. He has done a lot of treasure searching tonight. See what he finds. Half buried in the center of the room, Sigil finds a deep red ruby worth 50 gold coins. That's not too bad. Putting us up to 2,750 coins total. No, sorry, 2,950. I was hurrying and didn't fully erase that number right. With that, we might as well have him search for secret doors then, rather than move. And that there are none. Okay, monster's turn. We've got that Scout Mercenary who is going to attack Thraken. Swinging its sword and hitting him with a critical hit of 2. He blocks it. Very nice. We ran out the... we totally ran out the randomizer deck for a second time in a single quest. Has that ever happened before? I don't know if I remember if we've ever gone all the way through the randomizer deck twice in a single quest. The Chaos Warrior is also attacking Thraken. Swinging its axe and hitting him with a 2. He blocks 1 and not the other, dropping him to 5 body points remaining. Nope, sorry, that was Moonstone. All right, you can hurry without being dumb. There we go, 9 body points remaining, this guy. Okay, back to the front of the hero's turn. It is Moonstone's turn, and she is poised to strike either one of those monsters. She's going for the Scout Mercenary. Sending a blast of energy with her Redwood Wand. She misses entirely. That sucks. Okay, she is also going to search for secret doors in the room where everybody is. There are none. Thraken, who are we hitting? He is also swinging for the Scout Mercenary. Swinging his battle axe, he hits the Scout with a 2. Scout does not block anything. Dead. Johnny says, yes, can they find treasure more than once in one room? No, that depends on which rule set you're playing. In normal Hero Quest rules, it does pretty heavily imply that every hero can search a room for treasure. But for several reasons, most people in the community say that each room can only be searched once. And that was something that I adopted long before I even knew there was a Hero Quest community. So no is the short answer. They can only search each room once for treasure. Oh, Grimina. Let's just move her a couple of squares here. As I mentioned, she gets extra dice against undead, and Chaos Warriors are undead. She swings the Spirit Blade and misses. I love the look of these purple dice, but I'm not sure I love some of the rolls. Sigil. Let's get in there and help. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to get up close and personal. Swinging his rapier. He hits that Dread Warrior with a 1. Sorry, Chaos Warrior with a 1. Chaos Warrior does not defend it, dropping it to 3 remaining body points. It is the monster's turn, and that Chaos Warrior can hit anybody other than Moonstone. It's going for Sigil. Swinging its axe, and hitting the Bard with a 2. Sigil blocks it. All right, Sigil's going for a strong finish here, I guess. That takes us back to Moonstone, who is going to, from the doorway, shoot a blast of energy at the Chaos Warrior with her wand, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. This could be it for it. It blocks 1, taking 2, and holding on to life with a single body point left. That takes us to Thraken, who is already standing next to it, swinging his battle axe, hitting it with another 3, and it is surely not going to roll 3 black shields on 3 dice. Indeed, it does not block a single thing. It is dead. For the sake of speed, I think we are going to force a treasure search for Thraken right here, because it is the last thing that needs to be done in the quest before we, theoretically we would be rolling them all the way back to the exit, but we don't do that sort of stuff even when we're not trying to hurry. Let's see what Thraken finds here. A wandering monster. Why? Why is nothing ever easy? That could have been gold, and we'd be writing it down and we'd be finished. But no. An ocean abomination appears suddenly and thrusts a spear at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. Last treasure search, he blocks just barely. That's going to take us to Grimina. Does she has another spell, doesn't she? It's a healing spell. I was going to say, if she has something else that attacks, that might be worth using. She swings the Spirit Blade at the Abomination and hits it with a 1, which it blocks. Sigil the Bard is going to just stay right where he is and fire his crossbow at the Abomination, hitting it with a 1. The Abomination does not block, dropping it to 2 remaining body points. Monster's turn. However, the Abomination is already attacked on this turn cycle, so we're back to Moonstone. We're just concentrating fire until this guy's dead. Moonstone shoots a blast of energy from her wand, hitting the Abomination with a 1, and it blocks it. Wouldn't that be crazy if it survives this turn? Thraken swings his battle axe at the Abomination, missing entirely. I was kidding when I said it would be hilarious, by the way. Grimina swings the Spirit Blade, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Okay. It blocks 1, takes 2, and it is dead. Holy crap. Of course, Grimina had to be the one to clean up. Okay, so then we can basically just imagine a whole bunch of rolling back towards the exit of the quest. Everybody has successfully exited the quest. Holy crap. Okay. Honestly, we've gone later than this in certain times. So, we've gone to 4. I try not to do that, but we've gone all the way to 4 a.m. before. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. We'll get the skill sets figured out, and then we will get out of here. Probably will be pretty close to 4 by the time we actually get out of here. Okay, so cleaning up unused spells. Oh, Johnny says good game. Thank you. What a weird game this has been. A good one. Everything went well. Just weird. Okay, I think everything else that we have down here is an item that just needs to be picked up and put in the pile. Whoops. There we go. Okay, we have a couple of things for surviving heroes of quests. The first thing is that surviving heroes always get 50 coins apiece, which means we should be walking out of every quest with 200 gold, more than what we had, and that is the case tonight. That's going to put us up to 3,150. We had a pretty good haul of gold tonight. Between all the treasure searches, Grimina hitting that treasure hoard card, and then the 200 at the end there that Udren got us, we just about paid for all of Sigil's stuff that we bought at the beginning. Okay, the other thing that surviving heroes get are 2 skill set points, which they have to use immediately. There are 6 skill set categories, 10 levels in each category. Each hero class is affected by those levels differently, and there is not always a reward for every level. We are going to randomize where they put those points and see if it benefits them at all. Also take this time to go ahead and erase everybody's damage and all that stuff. So we got Moonstone up here first. She did a pretty good job tonight. Everybody did just kind of a weird job tonight, but yeah, worked. This was her 18th total quest. She is just about an OG hero. She was one of the original 9 heroes that responded to the call for help from Mentor the Wizard. She made her debut in episode 2, and she was even the one who defeated the boss in episode 2. Her first point tonight is going towards Machinery level 4, which is trap disarming stuff. No reward for level 4. She doesn't get anything there again until level 8. Her second point is going to be Combat level 8. Very nice. What does a druid get for Combat level 8? Nothing. However, at level 9, she will get access to the broadsword, which will be very, very good for her. So no specific rewards for her, but she is building towards some very good stuff for her class. Moving on to Thraken. Thraken might be the one I'm most disappointed with. I don't know about you guys, but it's not like he was totally useless the entire time, but he had a whole lot of rolls that should have been better. Considering the amount of dice he had, he was getting some pretty abysmal attacks and some pretty abysmal defenses. This was also his 18th quest. Thraken made his debut in episode 1, and he was the one who killed the boss in episode 1. So he's been around for a long time. His first point tonight is Magic Memorization level 4. This increases the number of spells you can carry into a quest. Let's see. Now, barbarians just naturally aren't very magical. However, in order to get access to some magic, stuff like barbarians, they have to get to level 3 in magic skill and level 4 in magic memorization. And he actually has succeeded in both of those things. So from now on, Thraken is going to get one single random tier 1 spell in every quest. That's pretty neat. His second point, that is correct, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, he has one more point to go. His second point is going to be Magic Memorization level 5. He's going for that magic. I don't know why, but he is. Nothing for level 5. He'll get another thing there at level 7. So, weird. But Thraken's interested in magic, I guess. Gramina! Gramina's the star of the show, isn't she? She had some embarrassing roles there, here and there, but for the most part, she did what she always does. She cleans up everybody's messes, she walks around, and she gets the job done. This is also her 18th quest. She debuted, I think, in episode 3. And she is the star of the show because she managed to one-shot the boss of the first book. I mean, literally walked into the room, rolled a critical hit, dude didn't roll any shields, dead. That built up as a big threat for the entire book, and then Gramina knocks him out like it's nothing. Her first point tonight is going to be Education level 5. Education increases your mind points, which helps you throw off spells that try to control you. That is no reward for that particular level. Her second point is going to be Magic Skill level 5. She has also been very interested in magic here recently. No reward for her in that. Unfortunately, she doesn't get anything else until she maxes that out at level 10. Okay, so no specific reward for Gramina tonight, but as always, she's working towards some stuff. Finally, Sigil, the Bard, is our last hero that went on tonight's quest. This was his debut. This was his first ever quest, and he ended the quest at full health thanks to his healing song and some other healing stuff happening. We'll go ahead and get rid of the gifted potion of restoration there, but that was a very nice just-in-case thing. This is going to be his first skill set points. Let me assign some randomization numbers here to him. There we go. Let's see what he gets. His first ever skill set point is going to go towards Education Level 1. Again, that's an increase in mind points. However, there is not a reward for Level 1. He'll get something for Level 2, though. And his second point is Constitution Level 1. Constitution increases total body points. Same thing there. No reward for Level 1, but he will get another body point for Level 2. So he is working his way up towards some more good stuff going on there. All in all, a pretty good, or maybe I should say pretty okay first showing, considering this was his first ever quest. He did have a couple of impressive rolls, considering this was his first ever time going on a quest. Maybe not the most useful first quest I've ever seen, but definitely not bad. Anyway, that is going to do it for us tonight. Only about 45 minutes later than we usually intend to end because I was not paying close enough attention to the route of the quest. Whoopsie daisy. In any case, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. As per usual, we've had a pretty great average view count, some fantastic conversations in the chat. So thank you everybody who's been talking all the way through the night. Johnny, especially nice to talk to you. It's been a little while, I think, since we've seen you. And really appreciated the conversation. Good getting to talk some music stuff with you as well. And same with Gohan as well, as always. Really enjoy the conversation with everybody that shows up. Thank you guys so much for watching this stuff. Don't forget that we do stream literally every single night at midnight Eastern Time. You can hit that Twitch schedule tab over there to have that automatically put in your time zone if you're not in Eastern Time like we are. But you can come hang out with us again tomorrow. We do quests on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Savannah does painting streams on Sunday and Thursday nights, and then I host a creative stream essentially on Wednesday nights. So tomorrow night, Savannah is going to be painting. I believe the goal for tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, is Princess Melandriel, the elven princess that we are going to be rescuing in the next book. That is something that Justin and Rukoro and Sarah know about because that is the book that they tried the first quest of and wiped so many times that they abandoned it and decided to go do some other stuff and come back. So Princess Melandriel painting tomorrow, I'm pretty sure that's the plan anyway, so that should definitely be a lot of fun. So come hang out with Savannah while she paints, and then I will see you guys again on Monday night for the next quest, which is actually a direct continuation of this quest. It'll be the same heroes. Udren will still be with us, so we'll be doing that. One more thing, if you're interested in catching up, all of the previous quest episodes are uploaded to our YouTube, so you can search Midnight Quest Game on YouTube. You can catch all the previous quest episodes, all the VODs for the painting streams, and daily shorts on that YouTube. Those daily shorts are also posted on TikTok and Facebook. If you're on either of those, you can go follow and subscribe and do all the content creatory things on all of that stuff. Thank you guys one more time for watching, and we'll catch you again tomorrow.